If you're somebody who wants to get copywriting clients while becoming a strong copywriter, this video is going to help you do just that, because I have taken the recordings from my top students' reviews and put them into this video right here. I'm going to be showing you me reviewing emails that are good, bad, ugly, and otherwise. So you're essentially going to watch all of the recordings of my private communities. So you're getting all of this value for completely free. Congrats on that. So without any further ado, enjoy the video. Welcome. Your journey starts here. Your real estate empire begins. The problem with this preview is that it's saying the same thing as the subject line when it should complement it. So for an example, I give this all the time. Some people with YouTube thumbnails and titles, they make them the same. So the same words in the title or the same words that's in the thumbnail, but really they should be complementary to each other. One thing should add more intrigue to the next. So welcome, your real estate journey begins here. And then might be like, here's what you need to know. Here's how you can get started as soon as possible. Here are some free gifts to get you started. Here's your free toolkit. Here's your something, right? I'm going to give you something. Here you're saying your real estate journey begins here. Your real estate empire begins. Your journey starts here. Welcome. This is the same thing. You can make it more intriguing by making it something different. Hey, first name. I know what it's like to feel there's no way forward. Is that a question? That's the strangest question I ever heard. No question. I know what it's like to feel like there's no way forward. After leaving the Marine Corps, I landed in a construction job, afraid I'd never get ahead in life, and no idea what I could do to earn my freedom. But when I came across real estate investing, I flipped my life around. That's kind of cool. I think it would be funny if you were like, I didn't only flip houses, but I also flipped my life around. That's why I'll show you the secrets to my success after deployment. I would make this a little bit different. So especially in your welcome email, but just in general, telling people things like, I'll show you the secrets to my success. It sounds a little bit, Miami balcony boy guru. Talk about, bro, I'll show you the secrets to my success. Whereas I would say it like you'll show them the secrets to success that helped you. Very subtle difference, but the way I was brought up in copywriting was just very much nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about you. Just keep yourself out of it. So you can do the same. You'll receive weekly emails from me on things like how anybody, even beginners, can scale their portfolio, where to find the best clients and eager buyers in your area, my construction secrets that gave me an edge over the competition. These are pretty good. Pretty decent bullets. The only thing I might employ is some cost narration / facts and figures. So for example, I'll show you my construction secrets that let me complete projects at 20% less overhead than your average real estate investor, so that I can always squeeze the most profit and get the most deals. I don't know, for example. I'm the only thing I know about real estate is from being a construction worker, so not very much. But if you're able to have construction secrets where you're able to get jobs done at high quality for a super low price, then you're able to underbid people, meaning when a job goes up, people say, this construction company says, we'll do it for $80,000. If you come in and say you'll do it for $70,000, then you have a higher chance of getting the deal. And if you can actually do it for $70,000, but only spend $40,000 or $50,000, and that's 20 or 30 grand in your pocket in profit. So that's kind of the thing there. In short, everything I used to go from 17-year-old with 2 felonies, used to go from, I guess, probably mentioning broke, because broke, money is the main thing here. So broke 17-year-old with 2 felonies to building a real estate empire while helping others do the same. If you have any questions, feel free to reply to this email. I think it's pretty good. I think that it definitely passes for a welcome email. Welcome emails are pretty easy. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of like, you're a professional baseball player in the MLB, but you're using a T-ball set to practice, which might help. Sure, it might help. But let's be honest, not every game you're going to be basically playing T-ball. You're going to have to get some pitches. People are going to be throwing curveballs at you. So you might as well practice for that, right? Long email, need to shorten it. Single career-driven women in their 30s and 40s looking to attract marriage-minded, masculine, high-value man. Oof. This is really hard, bro. I'm going to be honest, dude. This is really difficult for dudes to pull off. It's hard to even put yourself in the mindset. Even me. I can't believe I'm saying this. Why dating is both terrifying and healing. Name this date changed everything. I'm exposing myself, revealing the truth. My biggest fear revealed. Okay. What if I show him the real me and he walks away? Around 2 years ago, my biggest fear became a reality. I allowed myself to be vulnerable. So the thing is, bro, George knows how to write good copy. I can already tell 4 lines in. He's pretty good. I'm interested if you can nail brand voice / audience. That's what I'm really interested to see. I already know George can write good emails. That's not a secret. In this email, I wanted to share something that may change your dating life forever. The thing is, I used to always be the one in control, a successful career-driven woman, constantly in my masculine energy just to keep up with the demands of my work. But one night, something changed. I went on a date with a man who completely disarmed me. He wasn't the type to be impressed by status or accomplishments. And for the first time in years, I felt safe. That's when I decided to do something I'd always avoided. I let go of the strong woman persona I had clung to for so long. I opened up about my fears, my insecurities, and the fact that I rarely feel heard in relationships. I admitted how I've spent years in my masculine energy, always pushing, always leading, never feeling like I could let my guard down, especially in love. And you know what? He didn't judge me. In fact, he just listened. Oh man, this dude's cooking. I'm not gonna lie. All right, you did it, bro. All right, bro, slow clap. Slow clap for George, bro. This is the woman dream state right there. Bro, how'd you know? Did you have to look at her like content? Is this something you got from her that that you kind of copied from what she said, or what? Or you just know women like that? Because I will admit, I'm a bit of a women scientist myself. I like to think that I kind of know and understand their thought processes. But this is, you hit it. You hit it nail on the head or whatever it is. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like I had to be the strong one. I didn't feel like I had to keep it all together. I was allowed to relax in my feminine and express the softness I'd been burying. That night, I realized something crucial about attracting masculine marriage-minded men. It's not about finding a man who gets your success. It's about finding one who makes you feel so safe that you lean back into your feminine. So first name, if you ever felt like you couldn't relax into your feminine because you were too busy holding everything together, no one really sees or hears you for who you truly are. You've always had to play the strong one in relationships and never feeling safe enough to be vulnerable. You deserve a shift. You deserve to feel held, safe, and supported in your relationships. Because when you let go of the armor and step into your true feminine energy, you don't lose power. You gain a kind of magnetism that attracts masculine energy effortlessly. If you're ready to explore what it truly means to connect with your feminine and attract the love you deserve, click here to book a call with me and go from force to flow in your love life. Dedicated to your success, Vanessa. Not only did he pull off one of the hardest copywriting forms, which is stories, but he also did it from a feminine perspective, which is pretty good, quite good. I can tell George has been around some females in his day. Good job, George. Improve their knowledge to know how to build muscles the proper way to not waste their time. Also, leave a link to who you're writing for at the top. Very important. All right. Want big muscles? Don't train hard. Focus on this instead. Hello, name. Everyone says that training hard is key to get that Ronnie Coleman physique. Yeah, see, here would be good to know who you're writing for. Since this physique is very, It's a very niche. It's a very small amount of people who kind of go for that. So they go inside the circle of ego lifting and pushing hard. Go inside the circle of ego lifting, inside the circle. Everyone says that training hard is the key to get, They go inside the circle of ego lifting and pushing hard. Just to sit and wondering why, instead of getting those results, they get severe pain in their joints. This is definitely giving me confusion. Although I know what you're trying to say. I feel like the words are just could be said better. I would just say it as, everyone thinks to get huge, you have to train hard. So they go into the gym, they practice their 1 rep max, they ego lift, and instead of isolating any muscles, every muscle turns into a full body exercise. Then they sit there wondering why, instead of getting huge, they're only left with severe pain and injuries. You see, name, the missing part in their training is what I call the mental part. The missing part. So how you use part right there twice, use a different word. If you say the same word twice in the same sentence, it feels like redundant. It feels like you're saying the same word. You know how you say the same word over and over and over again and it starts to lose its meaning? Kind of feels like that a little bit. I would call it like the mental method or something. Lifting like an idiot is not the way, but lifting with good form is. Having that mental focus on the form is what makes you different and will make you lift weights your body can handle. Using good form will maximize muscle activation to get as big as possible. The sad part is only 20% to 30% of people have good form. So what also I'm seeing is I'd make your value a little deeper than just good form. That's kind of like saying, bro, if you want to get rich, you have to work hard. Or dude, if you want to get chicks, you have to be yourself. Be yourself. It's all stuff that people have heard of time and time again. So while good form is good and stuff, the thing I would use to complicate it that would actually open the loop more and make it more intriguing is you've probably heard of good form before and you think that you do good form, but the fact of the matter is that 90% of people don't, because good form is more than just not swinging your body weight around. Let me explain. Good form is when you develop that mind-muscle connection. It's when you can use your mind to mentally make your muscles go through more pain and stress in order to grow bigger. How do you do this? Right? That's kind of more of the angle that I would go for. Now, this angle isn't necessarily wrong. It's not even that bad. It's just a little bit on the overused side, I would say, in my humble opinion. Learning from the free stuff from fitness experts on YouTube, thinking it's the same information rather than investing $100 into their body. Personally, my body is so much worth more than that. I mean, it's their decision, I guess, but we know the results in life need sacrifice. Gladly, I got you with a surprise. A 50% discount from my training course. You'll understand this in business opportunity, or just like anything where you're selling a course. Selling a course is the equivalent of just a huge red flag, like selling a course. But I would call it say the name. I'll give you a half off of the muscle magnifier program, right? So not the muscle magnifier program instead of training course. Nobody wants to buy a course. Oh yeah, I'm online buying courses, or I sell a course. Nobody wants that. Having everything you need from personal one-on-one coach, hundreds of videos, proven techniques, daily progress check. Okay. We know that it's impossible for me to show you everything. So want to learn more? Watch this 10-minute video of me explaining everything. The CTA is where it gets rough. I'm not going to lie. The CTA is rough. What do you guys think? Thinking it's the same information rather than investing in 100. Yeah. When you talk about people think that they can whatever for free, learning from the free stuff on YouTube. Yeah. Demonizing the free stuff on YouTube. I probably wouldn't go with this angle. Here's the other thing, man, is that in 2024, marketing is way different than it was previously. So you can't really say, what you'll get in this course is my secrets. I mean, you can, and people still do, but that's not the most effective way. Take it out of a page from the Tyson 4D marketing playbook. All my best stuff on YouTube is for free. People are used to other gurus saying, the Miami balcony boy saying, bro, if you want to learn how I write copywriting emails and make millions of dollars, all you got to do is buy my $37 course. That's what most people are used to, right? So when I put out free 8-hour copywriting courses, people are like, God damn, this guy's crazy. Then they watch the course, then they're like, holy shit, this is amazing. This is way better than any other paid program in the freaking world. This is unreal. And then what's inside of the programs? Well, the 4D Academy is not just some copywriting secret. Nobody joined to get some copywriting secret. They joined because of the immense amount of quality programs and how it's designed. 90-day client getting academy, which again, another episode coming out after this actually. The 90-day copywriting academy, and a whole bunch of other programs, right? That are super specific with lots of other things like what we're doing right now, support as well, right? So sell the support, sell the things that they can't get in the free YouTube videos, and don't demonize the free YouTube videos, right? Because that's not really usually effective. Thinking it's the same information rather than investing $100 in their body, but we know that the results need sacrifice. Yeah, but people are pretty averse to that. I'd say the CTA is just salesy. You can tone it down and make it again. The CTA shouldn't be about, you should invest in your body. The CTA should be about what's the one thing that you're teaching that nobody else is teaching. So it's everybody kind of teaches good form. You might want to talk more about the mind-muscle connection and how you develop extreme mind-muscle connection over a 6-week period that you call this method. So do more of selling the thing that sells the thing. But other than that, everything before the CTA is pretty decent. Yo, what's up? It's your friendly neighborhood 4D here. I just wanted to quickly interrupt because you can actually get your copy reviewed just like the people you're seeing right now for free. We're actually doing free mentorship in the 4D community. Absolutely nobody is out here doing this. We are breaking records for the amount of value that is given out to the community because that's how much we care. So essentially, to get your copy reviewed for free, what you want to do is go down and download the free copy starter kit down below. Essentially, once you get in there, you're going to get access to the school community, also the Discord community. And in the Discord, every single week, we host live calls for everyone in there for free. You can send in your copy and get reviewed by me and also my 6-figure copywriting coaches. So if that's something that even interests you a little bit, more than worth it is just a click away, and I'll see you guys there. Let's see, prospect. Let's check it out. Oh nah, bro, 1,700 followers. That's kind of ass. Quit job to 1 million with agency in 3 years. 600 plus agency clients with 7 million in results. So he's got content. It looks like he's trying to build his personal brand. He's just quite beginner level. 259 posts. Prospect. Goal of the email is to get the reader to click the link and book a call. Give up who you are for who you want to be, where you're heading. Hey, first name. If scaling your agency starts to feel like an uphill battle, I'm getting some deja vu here. Here's something that once I understood, I was able to double my agency revenue in less than 30 days. I would just say, here's something that allowed me to, not once I understood. Because, economy of words, especially in the beginning. You see, before you even take on the agency journey, your subconscious mind paints a picture of what it will look like. But in most cases, the reality is a lot different from what you expected before starting. Why? Because when you're first thinking of what? Assuming readership. You don't have the expertise or knowledge to exactly what route you're doing. To exactly what route you are going on. You don't have the expertise or knowledge to exactly what route you are going on. Yeah, confusing. Is it just me, or could that be said in a much more concise way? And also be choosy. You're saying expertise or knowledge. Pick one, expertise or knowledge. Be choosy. And see, you guys probably already have heard me say these types of terms, like be choosy and things, but you just do them anyways. And that's why sending in your copy is so important. Because thinking you know something or understanding a lesson isn't the same as putting it into practice. So let me go deeper on the being choosy thing for just like 2 seconds. A lot of copywriters or digital marketers feel like it's really hard to get clients. It's hard to get good at their skill. It's hard to make money. It's hard to close deals. It's hard to make money with emails. It's hard to make money with sales funnels. And it's hard to make money with landing pages. Well, I'm going to show you something that can help you and make you more money and make you succeed more. You're doing like and, or. Now that's an exaggerated example, but again, all those things mean the same thing. Expertise and knowledge mean the same thing. If you cut one of them, will the email mean the exact same thing? Yes. You're just taking up words to take up words. And oftentimes it's more difficult when you've managed. And oftentimes it's more like, what's it? You're using it so much, bro. Cut the it. You need we need to come up with a term for that. No more it. But it's worth twice as much when you're you're now banned from using the word it. That word should no longer ever be in your vocabulary. No more it's. But it's worth as much when you finally make it. It's worth twice as much when you finally make it. Picture this. You're stepping outside onto the chill of the winter. Your breath fogged into the frigid air. You rush home and leap into the hot shower. The warm water cascades over you. Too descriptive. You're already going, this is a different email. Also, this is a different email. What happened to the stuff you were just saying, dude? You go into this story, but this stuff right here, all it told me is your journey is going to be harder than you thought it would be. See these this is like 15, 20 lines. I can condense it into one sentence. Your journey is going to be harder than you thought it would be. And then over here, we have like a Harry Potter novel where you're talking about going out into the chill of the winter, your breath fogged into the frigid air, you rush home and leap into the hot shower, the warm water cascades over you, melting away the cold. That shower becomes infinitely more relaxing than any other, doesn't it? It's because with your agency's progress, after months of trial and error and endless moments when the thought of giving up loomed like a dark cloud, when you'll finally manage to scale your agency to 10K per month, it'll feel like, wow, bro, this is one sentence. No, sorry, right here. Let me cancel that. One sentence? I don't think so, bro. Don't be worried that you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Keep showing up. Soon enough, you'll get closer to the exit. Now, if you want to speed run your way through the tunnel, in the last year, I helped 27 agencies scale to 6 to 7 figures by implementing the Core 4 method, which focuses on key elements for insane growth. And I can do the same for you. All I have to do is click here to book a call with me or my team. Yeah. Anyways, I think I gave you enough. I think I gave you enough feedback. Selling less is the way to bigger deals. Stop selling the old way. Okay. Let us see. Oh, this is ugly as hell. Coaching, real estate, agogi. You've made the calls, followed up with emails, and delivered polished pitches. Yet the deals still slip through your fingers. The buyers back out. The seller hesitates. And you're left wondering, what am I doing wrong? Well, in this email, I'll show you why chasing clients and using high pressure tactics might be the very thing costing you deals. This is a decent line, but like, let's look at how it looks. It's really long, right? Make this shorter. Well, in this email, I'll show you why high pressure tactics could be costing you sales, costing you deals. Now, if you're like most agents, you've been told the secret to success is being relentless. Calls upon calls, follow up after follow up, and pitching as many people as humanly possible. But in reality, it might be the exact same thing holding you back from closing deals. This one passes because it's like you're talking about something that was right there. So maybe I'll let that one pass. Because the more you push, the more clients pull away. They don't want to feel like they're being sold. It's kind of like trying to catch a butterfly with a net. The harder you chase, the faster it flies away. That's pretty cool. Cool analogy. And now, OG. But when you slow down, let the net rest and create a calm space, it lands right where you want it. It's pretty sick. And the client feels the same way. When they sense the high pressure sales pitch coming their way, they tense up, they become guarded, and they disappear. The reality is most real estate agents lose because they lack not because they lack skill or effort, but because they're stuck in an outdated sell mindset that no longer works. That's why it's time to flip the script using the reverse sales formula and start closing deals without chasing leads or using high pressure tactics or feeling like you're constantly in sell mode. It's about mastering the art of attracting clients and instead of chasing them. So if you're ready to get rid of the old school tactics that are burning you out and closing the deal and start closing deals with a method that feels good, click here. Stop selling and start closing. It's pretty cool. So what I would do is I would sell the unique mechanism more and address objections. Disrupt, what's in it for me? Intrigue, right? We need a link to prospect, homie. How Andrew Tate built a cult following. Building a cult following in Q4 will be the difference between your personal brand looking like this. What is a cult following? A cult following is a following. A cult following is a following. Sounds terrible. And probably just because you haven't read it out loud. So big tip for everybody, read your stuff out loud. A cult following is when people are invested in your brand or story and eventually your product. So you don't have to use a cult following is a following. It's like saying the Cybertruck is a truck that is cyber. You get what I'm saying? It kind of feels like that. So today I'm going to show you the exact world building system I used to make 20K in my first 15 days, as well as building a cult following of 53K followers in my first 45 days. The world building system consists of 3 steps. 1, understanding your world. 2, interests. 3, sets. Take a look at the picture below. What is the first thing you see? Andrew Tate, right? Why? Because his content is filmed here. So even if you can't still recognize this compound, but you do add, right? Click here to watch a free video I made. Chris. Interesting. Yeah, it would be better if I saw who you're writing for. But I like the intro. It looks cool. The value spots are pretty good, probably. Although I don't like writing about Tate. I think that writing about Tate is almost like a common beginner thing, right? Because we all love Andrew Tate, and we all want to write about things that we like about, or the things that we like. But at the same time, when we're writing for our clients, again, we have to write for clients. And usually your clients are not going to want to write about Andrew Tate out to their email list, right? I might, because I've done videos about Andrew Tate and my brand is pretty close with Andrew Tate. Everyone who watches me loves Andrew Tate, right? Especially me. For beginner dropshippers struggling to find their winning product, steal the TikTok algorithm secrets I use to scale businesses to 7-figure empires without spending a penny on ads. That's pretty good. Why dropship with Colin's e-com strategy? Dropshipping means losing money. This is the harsh reality for most beginners. That's pretty sick. Because as a beginner, you'll run into all the types of unpredictable roadblocks like these. If you use Colin's e-com strategy, there's no risk, no need testing hundreds of products, trial and error is unnecessary. This is possible through a new TikTok marketing trick that can predictably establish proof within the first week. So for what you have here, pretty good, but you can go way deeper on what it actually is, right? Make it super believable. I mean, there's probably a lot of believable stuff here, but I think your stuff is good. Copy the system I used to launch. Yeah, honestly, this one's kind of better still. Copy the system. TikTok bros are absolutely engaged. as soon as you talk about copy my system or steal my system. What did you use? Steal. I mean, steal is actually pretty good too. How my system I used to launch 7-figure email brands from scratch without sending a penny on ads. You get TikTok out 1%. I don't know. This headline is already pretty decent. So you changed it. The only way to find out if it's actually better is to test it. Some of these lines are pretty long, dog. I want to do this one. This is FitX Fearless. The 90-day double your dating deep dive. Some alliteration. All right. The thing with FitX Fearless is his marketing kind of lacks compared to guys like Dating Coach Kyle and Benjamin Seda. Benjamin Seda's marketing is just top tier, bro. Like he's firing out unique mechanisms in every YouTube video. His shit is nuts. If you guys just want to see some straight good marketing that's not in the marketing niche, right? Because here's the thing. People in finance and like if you're watching like Alex Ramosi and Dan Martell and Ravi Abuvala and Tyson 4D, like we're all marketers and copywriters, right? So all of our stuff's going to be really good, but it's all talking about money stuff. If you want to learn good marketing about things that aren't marketing, I would say for relationships, go to Benjamin Seda. Dating Coach Kyle is all right too, but Benjamin Seda is just one of the best, right? FitX Fearlesses can be improved for sure. On top of that, if you're looking for like fitness and gym stuff, I would say Gregory O'Gallagher's shit is just absolutely, it's fine-tuned for sure. Subject line, alert, you just got ghosted. Hey, first name, what do you think of my email subject line? I wouldn't do that. Well, that's how most men's text conversations end with the women they're interested in. I would just start with, most men get ghosted. Less confusing. You're saying the same thing. You're not referring back to the subject line. Most men get ghosted, but it doesn't have to be you. I'll tell you what you can do differently so your text can go from getting ghosted to instant reply. Here's how you can stop getting ghosted and instead get her to text you first. Here's how to stop getting ghosted and get her to even double text you, right? Stuff like that. Whereas again, like your sentences, bro, your sentences are bloated. That's what I would describe that as, bloated. Like they're big and thick. Oh shoot, the networking event's going on right now. All right, I'll have to speed run this one. Just reply. Here's the deal. Most guys suck at texting women that they're interested in. But why? Because they do all the things wrong, like texting too frequently, being too forward, or acting too distant, making her feel like you're using her. That stops today, because if you don't, you'll waste countless opportunities with fun, beautiful, sensual women. And will be wasting your precious time, energy, and resources. Too many lists, listing too many stuff. Be choosier. Then you'll end up living the rest of your days alone with your epileptic cat, Norman. This is pretty decent, agitating, but not sure Fit talks like that. But here's what you can do. You can learn how to text her properly. Here's what you can do. You can learn to do it right. This is not the most, just say, this is too many words. I'll put it like that. Too many words. My clients, salesy. You could say students. Use these 5 tips, or me and my students use these 5 tips that have made their texts go from boring interview questions to playful and seductive banter that excites the women to text you. I share these 5 top tips in my Textual seduction. If you're interested in talking conversations, so you don't actually talk about, trust me, bro, these work. Why do they work? What do women love to see? Here's the thing, that you have to know when to text and when to pull back. If you don't have a understanding of this, you'll always get ghosted. For example, if she sends a riskier text, your initial thought might be to send an even the opposite of what you want. When she sends a risky text to you, you want to pull back ever so slightly. This way, she'll be sitting there with her phone in her hand, waiting for you to reply. And when you don't, she's going to have all these scenarios play out in her head, because women live in their head. You have to turn women on in their head before you turn them on in the bed. You'll be sitting there thinking, oh my God, what is he thinking? Is he with another girl right now? Should I have sent that risky text? Maybe he's uncomfortable. Maybe I said something wrong. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. Why'd I do that? Why you just sit there and let it soak up? And then when you eventually do text her, she'll be texting you back right away. And that's how you play with a woman's head. And by understanding these textual seduction principles and all the other ones as well, you're going to be able to, benefit. Bars, right? freaking bars, right? That's what it's about, bro. All copywriting is just having those bars down pat. I mean, that's all I got for you guys, man. I think that this one was sick. We went over a lot of really good emails, and also some other emails that could be improved. But bro, the value was there, and I talked about some stuff that I never revealed before based on this reel. All right, let's check it out. Yeah. Oh well. How should you have 109,000 followers, and how many likes does it got? It's got like 30 likes. Yeah, that's tough. Let's see it.
More likely to believe their horse is going to win after they've placed their bet. This is because they... 3. A huge part of becoming influential is the ability to make others commit to you. Did you know that at the races, people are far more likely to believe that their horse is going to win after they've placed their bet? This is because they have made a commitment. And innately, we want to be consistent with our thinking. When we've decided on something, we want to stick it through. You can use this trick to become more influential online by allowing people to take little steps of commitment at a time. One yes is far more likely to turn into another yes, and another yes, and another yes.
Her reel's pretty trash. It is not captivating at all. Out of all the things on the whole internet that anyone could be watching, I find it hard to believe that they would choose to watch this. Not because, again, she's bad, but the reel itself, the script, is not that great, right? The hook is how to become more influential online.
A huge part of becoming influential is the ability to make others commit to you. Did you know that at the races, people are far more likely to believe that their horse is going to win after they've placed their bet? This is because...
Yeah, I don't know. It's not simple enough. There's a lot of explainy words. So let's see what you did with it. Because I'm not gonna lie, this would be a pretty tough one to make a good email out of. But we're gonna see based on this reel. Okay, idea. There's no secret to becoming influential online, but what sets people apart from having 0 to 100K plus is their commitment. Right? And here's what I've been noticing a lot. And I've come up with a name for it, with a word for it that I've never come up with before. So I feel like I'm going to share it with you now. And it's going to kind of pop into your guys' head maybe a little bit. I call it vanilla copywriting. So many people have extremely vanilla copywriting where they're like, well, what's wrong with it? It's like the idea is not quote unquote wrong. Like you're quote unquote giving value or telling people something that can help them. But the thing is that it's not sexy. There's nothing captivating of it. There's nothing that grabs me in. If I'm hanging out and someone asks me, do you want to watch a video? And it's about, there's no secret to becoming influential online, but what sets everyone apart is their level of commitment and discipline. That is like the #1 most used angle in the world. So let's check it out. Let's see what he actually does with it. Goal is to get people to buy her Instagram system. Okay. The truth behind getting 100K plus followers, my girl got so many purchased followers, it's insane. How do you get 20 likes and 100,000 plus followers? Even I, with my measly 50,000, 0 purchased followers, only gets a couple thousand likes. So her 100,000 followers, 25 likes, I don't know. The boring process to gain 100K plus followers, but it's simple. Okay. Hey, first name. Let's be real for a second. There's no magic formula for skyrocketing your follower count overnight. There's one thing that can absolutely get you to 100K plus followers. And believe it or not, you already have it. Whether you're sitting at 500, 1,000, or even 10,000 followers. I would say that these should be descending and ascending. If it was be like, yeah, you can get to 200 pounds, even if you're 400 pounds overweight, or 300 pounds overweight, or 250 pounds. So you should start with 10,000, 1,000, or even 50. So make this in order of descending. It's kind of like you can become a professional copywriter, even if you have no experience or 1 year of experience, or even if you have 2 years of experience. It's like those are already more believable as you go on, right? You want to do the most believable first and the least believable at the end. It's commitment. Yeah, this is definitely suffering from huge vanilla. And the reason why is for a few reasons. So to start off here, the magic, you can skyrocket your follower account overnight. There's one thing that can absolutely get you to 100K plus. And believe it or not, you already have it. And it's commitment. So many people are stopping reading right there. You're not even past your first couple lines, and 99% of your people, gone. So why? There's two main ways to fix your, you basically intrigue you committed intrigue homicide. This is intrigue homicide. So essentially, right, I'm wondering, what is it? And then you tell me it's commitment. And you're like, So you go one of two ways here. You can, one, just not tell what the thing is and just insert a story, right? And at the end of the story, you close the loop, exactly. At the end of the story, then you talk about what the actual thing is, what the value is, or you can do a bizarre angle, right? Every angle should be new, fresh, and bizarre. So what if I said this? The key to gaining 100,000 followers is to not have commitment. Too many people have commitment, and that's why their Instagram accounts don't grow. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Tyson, I thought commitment was a good thing. I thought, in order to succeed, you have to commit and blah, 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 blah. And while that is true, you know what else is also true? Too much of a good thing is a bad thing. People commit to shitty strategies. Somebody asked me the other day, Tyson, I've posted 400 reels already, and I still have 54 followers. What do I need to do? The last thing you need to do is keep posting 400 more reels. What you need to do is stop committing to your terrible strategy and figure something else out, because what you're doing ain't working. It comes to a point where you've done so many reps where you should sit there and think, maybe I'm just doing something wrong. The next time you post on Instagram, the next time you feel like actually growing, question what you're committing to. Because so many people say, well, I only upload Instagram reels like this. I only upload content talking about this. Well, what if I told you there's a few ways that you could just tweak your content without even having to do any more work than you're already doing and get over 100,000 followers in the next few months? I know it sounds crazy, but it's the exact same thing I did. I kept posting about X, right? Every single one of my reels was the exact same. Why? Because I was trapped and blinded because one of my reels got viral and popped off. So now I inherently thought all of my reels had to be the exact same as that one reel that did really well. And you know where that led me? That led me to getting stuck. But you know what actually got me there? It wasn't that exact reel template. It was the fact that I started something new. I cut off my commitments and I tried something better. So then that's what I did. I did something different and incorporated something different into every one of my reels, seeing which ones would popped off, actually started testing things. Then I figured out my strategy, and then my Instagram grew. Now look, everybody is at a different level of the game, right? We're all in different niches. We all make different types of videos. We all have different goals. So me giving you a one-size-fits-all approach to this is not going to work. You need advice that's tailored to you. You need somebody to come into your business who's already done this before, and that's what I can help you with. I've worked with over 40 clients throughout 6 different niches, and I've been able to get them all over 100,000 followers. Now, I don't work with many people because I like to keep my track record good. So if you're somebody who wants their Instagram strategy figured out for them, click right here and apply, and we can work together, possibly. There. I freestyled the whole thing. So what do we learn there? I took the angle and I made it unique, right? A really, really easy way to do it is just use the anti-angle strategy. This is something I've never talked about. This is new sauce. Somebody exactly cook, right? I'm cooking in here, bro. I don't know who let me cook in here, bro. Light skin Gordon Ramsay. This needs to be cut up and put into modules inside of the 4D Academy for sure. So anti-angle, right? Take what most people say and just anti-angle it, right? So you say right here, the secret is commitment. I anti-angled it so that I said, okay, well, the secret is not committing. You shouldn't commit. People are too committed. You can do this with anything, right? Copywriters have the skill of taking an angle and making it work, and no matter what it is. I think of things not like what kind of value can I provide to people. I actually think of it backwards. I think, what's the most crazy angle I can go for? And then how do I justify that angle? So I started with, how can commitment be a bad thing? And don't worry, anything can always be a bad thing. Whatever you think is good. The discipline, hard work, being faithful, being positive, like all these things can be bad things. And all of bad things can be good things. You should be lazy. You should be confused. You shouldn't put your best foot forward. I don't know. You could justify it in any way you want. But by coming up with an anti-angle, guess what happens? It's no longer vanilla copy. It's fresh. It's new. It's something I've never actually read before. Can't tell you how many times I've read about commitment and how commitment's so important. All right. Also, skyrocketing, avoid. Game changer, avoid. ChatGPT is detected. Not saying that they're like 100% off limits, but like used 2 of them in the first few sentences. So now my radar is kind of, So it's showing up when others bow out. Even when the likes barely roll in on algorithm, seems like it's working against you. And most people give up before they even get close. They expect to blow up overnight. And when it doesn't happen, they think there's something wrong. But here's the deal. Those influencers you admire, they don't quit when no one is watching. Yeah. So this email is doing the opposite of basically everything you wanted to do. Discouraging. The thing when you're writing about any sort of opportunity or anything online, right, is that you want to tactfully sprinkle in some of the realisticness. In this email, it suffers from 2 main things. 1, being extremely vanilla, and 2, being too quote unquote realistic and focusing on the downside of things and not really giving you any actionable information on how to do something exciting. So there's lots of emails that go off the PAS structure. The PAS structure is about bringing up a problem and then agitating it, right? Those are things that people don't necessarily want to hear. But the reason as to why you can tell them that is because you give them a more tangible, what's in it for me? You're explaining the problem so that they know that you have an idea of what they're going through. Then you agitate the problem so that you make the problem even more important to solve. But even from the very beginning, you let them know that you've solved this problem, right? So you do have a what's in it for me, one thing that can absolutely get you to 100K plus followers. But the problem is you really focus a lot on how hard it is, right? It's commitment, showing up when others bow out. It seems like the algorithm is against you. Most people give up before they even get close. They expect to blow up overnight, but that doesn't happen. But here's the real deal. Those influencers you admire, they don't quit when no one's watching. It's like, this is going to suck. You're going to be terrible. It's going to be super hard. And I do talk like this as well about copywriting, but the difference is that I always incorporate some excitement as well. Like, trust me, it's going to be extremely difficult. And one night you're going to go to sleep and wake up and one of your Instagram reels is going to be absolutely blowing up and going viral. Every time you refresh the page, that little orange block is going to show up on Instagram and you're going to get new comments and new likes and new followers every single time. And you're not going to even believe it. You're going to think that your Instagram feed is bugging somehow. You're going to have to turn the notifications off on your phone because your videos are just going so viral and your page is just starting to blow up. And then the crazy part is that you learn to do it again and again and again. And now look, this isn't something that just, happens haphazardly. You're going to have to work at it. The trick is to always keep in mind that it is extremely worth it. See? So I told you it's not going to happen right away. I told you it's not 100% like just lollipops and rainbows, but when you do make it, it's going to be extremely exciting. And I do get deep into how exciting that's going to be, showing up consistently day after day. This isn't like real value, not real value, mostly pep talk. That's exactly why I built my Instagram system. Yeah, and because it's just basically pep talk and no actual strategy, it kind of just feels like the CTA has plopped in there to guide you through the exact same strategies that work. So you don't have to go through the endless cycle of trial and error. You don't have to pump out thousands of reels to watch them vanish into the void. With this system, you'll know exactly why your posts are working. Right. Okay. So yeah, you know exactly all the things I said. Mainly is that it's vanilla and that it's discouraging, and the value in it is like just essentially a pep talk. You should get more strategic with it. That's basically it. So you fix those big things, and then we can get focused on more of the smaller stuff, like what your lines look like, the flow, et cetera, et cetera. Dan Ecom. Interesting. Very blue. Very, very blue. Got a Tesla. Okay. All right. I see. Dude looks like he does photography. He doesn't look like he does any ecom. The reels are ecom. Okay. I see. Cool. Well, let's see what he's got. Angle, simplicity of website is better than adding in too many features. This is because it will cause too much friction for your audience to become a buyer. True. And you know what I see on TikTok a lot? I've been studying and researching TikTok a little bit to up my content game. But dudes are like, the video will start and it'll be like, imagine having a website like this. And then it goes through this super complicated website where as soon as you click on the page, it gives you this crazy animation. And then you're scrolling through and it gives you animations and stuff. It's like, dude, if you're not running a computer from like the last 2 years, you're in for a slideshow. All right, that thing's going to be dropping frames. It's going to be super laggy and difficult for people to run. It's going to add a lot of friction. People are going to get sensory overload. So I very much agree as well. Simple is way better than, especially beginners. Well, a part of beginner brain is like the more flashy and complicated something is, the more people will like it. When the opposite is basically true when it comes to beginner brain in most cases. What's in it for me? Informational value, that simplicity is key in a website. This website feature gets you $2K per month. Hey, first name. Many of my students DM me on Instagram asking which website feature is the best to increase sales on my dropshipping store. And to tell you the truth, it's not the 10% off pop-up asking to sign into the email list, nor is it the spinning wheel where you have a chance to win $10 million. Eye roll emoji. Yeah, that shit is so fucking stupid. The best website feature, you messed rules of threes here. It's not this, and especially not something else. So add in another thing to make it rule of threes or delete one. That's fine too. So it's not the pop-ups, it's not the spinning wheel, and especially not sensory overload animations that are going to give you epilepsy. The best website feature is having no feature. And before someone starts angrily emailing me about how their favorite online guru knows better, let me show you this. Yeah, this is good. This is a good email, actually. Good so far. I'm down. I mess with this. This is Airbnb back in 2008. Notice something? For me, it took me a solid 10 seconds to find where I'm supposed to click to find an accommodation, laughing emoji. In short, there's too much information. This is their website now. Good justification, man. Good justification. There's not really much else to say. I mean, this is just tactful. This is just tactful copy. I'm not sure where you got the inspiration or the example, but swiping it was definitely good. Definitely good. Take notes, people. Come on now. The layout is simple, and it really takes one click for someone to book an accommodation. Why does this work? Because removing unnecessary information makes reading the website easier and more obvious where to buy the product. This is the same reason why I believe that website features will lower your sales. It should just be a period. It causes too much friction. Removing websites is one way of reducing friction, but that's only one tip of the iceberg. I go over ways to reduce friction in my mentoring program. Yeah, CTA is messy. CTA got messy. We're doing well though. Nah. We had a little stumble here, but we'll fix it. So essentially you say, this is just one way to reduce friction, but in my mentorship program, I go over all the ways to reduce friction. It's a little bit too heavy-handed. You can be more tactful with this. Removing website features is only one of the ways of reducing friction. That's only the tip of the iceberg. And over the years of building hundreds of Shopify stores and making millions of dollars online, I've distilled all of the friction factors that you need to delete in your website in order to make them simpler yet more converting. This 3-step system essentially works by making it as easy as possible to purchase products and getting rid of 99% of the junk that you think is working on your page, but actually isn't. If you're looking for a way to have a team of professional and proven Shopify store builders, whatever they're called, to build your store for you so that you can start making money with e-commerce, then click here to fill out my Google form. It takes less than 60 seconds to find out if you qualify. Now, it wasn't perfect, but it gives you more of an idea of how you want to go about it, right? I'm not quite yet sold on other ways to reduce friction. You just mentioned other ways to reduce friction and then shove the mentorship down there. So I would say make the transition smoother. That's basically it. Smoother transition. Need a smoother tranny, bro. Boom. All right. As I see it now, you only have 2 options. Okay, so you just crossroads close 2. Take this opportunity now and fill out the form. It doesn't take more than a minute. Or keep telling yourself now isn't the right timing and use that excuse every single time you're giving a life-changing opportunity. I might even give another link here at the bottom for double CTA. But cool, man. That works. So let's see what the product is. Superhuman CEO. Procrastinators want 4 hours of work to feel like 1 this week. Discover how 1,072 men went from lazy to disciplined by spending 15 minutes a day using this virtually unknown mind linking method. Okay. Kill procrastination forever and effectively conquer your goals without resistance, relying on willpower or self-sabotaging. Even if not, Jesus Christ, man. How many headlines does he have here? I've never seen a deck copy before. Even if nothing has worked for you before, you don't trust yourself to finish. Bruv. Or you feel like you can't change. Okay. Terrible mock-up. What the hell is this mock-up, dude? Somebody get this man a graphic designer ASAP. Warning, the price skyrockets when the timer hits 0. No BS. No BS. You really need all this landing page to sell something $27? Goal of the email is to get the reader to click on the link. I'll send them to the low to offer. People are self-sabotaging themselves. You mean self-sabotaging? How can you self-sabotage somebody else? I'm going to self-sabotage you, bro. And don't even realize it. Mind licking can save your life. Are you doing this too? Step out of the group. Today, I'll show you why you're not making any progress, even if you feel like you're working hard, and how to fix it in only 10 minutes a day. Look, I often see people who, after working for 1 to 2 hours, tend to take a 10-minute break because they feel like they earned it. But before they know it, that little break transforms into a 3-hour TikTok scrolling marathon, making them realize how unproductive they've been again. Honestly, I'd start it here. I would start it right here. This is what's in it for me. So I would take this, I would cut it, and I would put it right here or somewhere around here. And then I'd be like, well, don't worry, I have the solution if this is you. Because the reason why I would rather you start with a problem here is because you want to relate to them in this context off the bat. So have you ever done this? You work for 1 to 2 hours, take a 10-minute break that turns into a 3-hour TikTok scrolling marathon? I know because pretty much everybody does it. And I used to do it until I realized this one thing that I'm about to share with you. And then you go deeper into the agitate or et cetera, et cetera. That little break transforms, okay, all right. But when they return to finish the work they began, it feels like their mind's playing tricks on them. Their brains flicker like a faulty light bulb that is focused on 1 minute, completely off the next. And because of that, they leave the unfinished work behind and tell themselves, I'll get it done tomorrow with a refreshed mind. But the next day, the same thing happens. And they fall into a negative feedback loop of self-sabotaging they can't escape. But here's the weird part. It's not even their fault. They want to break free from the vicious cycle, but have no idea how. It's pretty good so far. That's why I created the mind linking method, a strategy that has helped over 1,000 men go from gold medalist procrastinators to disciplined individuals that put their 100% focus into everything they do. If you want to be a part of them, click here. Tell me what and not how here. All right. So the mind linking method works by linking your mind to your worst undesired outcomes and understanding that if you don't do your work right now, then those desired outcomes become a reality. But it's not that simple. There's a proven process to do this in a way that's healthy for you, only takes 10 minutes a day, and can get rid of your procrastination forever. If you want to learn the mind linking method and exactly how it works, then click here and I'll show you in this quick 5-minute video. So everything's pretty decent there, except for your intro. I told you how to fix that. And your CTA, I told you how to fix that as well, right? You're not giving any what in there. It's like, you guys want to learn how to get clients? Use my uni outreach. If you want to know what it is, click here. No. It works by picking one prospect. And you don't stop outreaching to that one prospect until they become your client. Now, this is a fake, unique mechanism, but you get the point. If you want to know exactly how to do this, by only working 10 minutes a day and actually getting 3K per month copywriting clients, outreaching to just one client, then click here to see more about how it works. Quick 10-minute video, and it's a VSL. So you want to tell them what, but not how in here. Pretty basic marketing. You've probably heard that before, but there you go. Tyson, check the second email below. Number 1 story email, cold audience. People want to get rich with YouTube videos without realizing that there's not enough information that can actually make them money. This is what I realized when I needed to find a mentor to guide me through the journey. How I made my first 31K in just a couple of months. I make this more tangible. You already have so much skepticism around the internet. I once said on one of my YouTube videos, like, I have like 4 or 5 income streams. He said he has 4 or 5 income streams. He doesn't even know how many income streams he has. This is bullshit. It's like, well, what would you consider an income stream? That's why I say 4 or 5. Let's say I invested in cryptocurrency and I'm currently up $100,000 in unrealized gains. Is that income? Kind of. If I take it out, it's income. If I leave it in and let it grow, it's income. If it goes down a little bit, but it's still $10,000 up from where I invested it, it's still income. So is that a stream of income? Kind of. Maybe that's why it's 4 or 5. Or YouTube pays me like anywhere from $4,000 to like $8,000 some months for views. Is that income? It's like not a huge portion some months, but I venture out to say it's probably income. Let's say I have 2 different programs, right? Is that 2 income streams or is that 1 income stream because it's the same coaching business? It's legitimate ambiguity, but just be tangible with people because it will make you sound more believable and it's just better, right? Ultra specificity is a technique in copywriting that you should use. So small lesson right there. All right, let's keep going. YouTube videos won't make you rich. Here's why. I made $31K in 62 days. Okay, you did put, what is this then? Oh, it's the what's in it for me. Okay. Hey, first name. Today I wanted to share with you this one lesson which could double your progress before making a 7-figure e-com business. Which could double my progress before making a 7-figure. That's word soup right there, if I've ever seen it. Looking back, when I first started my e-com business, I didn't know where exactly I needed to start. I had zero idea which winning product I needed to sell, and Facebook and Google ads felt like a foreign language to me. Longest sentence of 2024. Looking back, when I first started my e-commerce business, I didn't know where exactly I needed to start, period. I see you guys do this a lot, and I get it, right? You've probably never written in copy format before, but it's definitely worth learning. Yeah, I see that very often. I had zero ideas which winning products I needed to sell. And yeah, okay, so here's another one, right? I feel like I go through this every single call, so I'm gonna go over it quickly, but this sounds like the end of a sentence, but it's one sentence broken up into 2 lines. So what you can do so that it flows better, because I'm gonna read it like I had zero idea which winning ad I needed to sell. And Facebook, Google ads felt like a foreign language to me. So see how it just feels like it stops and it starts and this is confusing to read? What I would do is right here, instead of I had, not only did I have zero idea which product I needed to sell, Facebook and Google ads also felt like a foreign language to me. That way it flows because you know there's a second thing coming up. This is copy format. We must learn this. But even with zero experience, I was determined to make it work. Make what work? Whenever you say it, you have to be super careful. I decided to watch YouTube videos on how to start an e-commerce business so I can make my first money with it. Make your first money. Start making money. I'm getting English not your first language vibes, which is fine, but I shouldn't be able to tell that through your copy. If English isn't your first language, you can still become a copywriter, but you need to work harder. You need to work hard at mastering your English writing as well. If you're Steph Curry and you're only 6'2", but you want to be an NBA all-star, you don't have to work on that shot. He has a true disadvantage, but he still worked hard regardless and became one of the best NBA players and changed the whole game. They put new rules in the game of basketball because of this one man. The game of basketball is played completely differently because of this one dude. And he's like average tall. You have different levels of tall, right? I'm 6'2" as well. That's like average tall. That's like kind of tall, right? 6'5" is like tall. When you're getting up to high 6s, you're like tall. When you get up to 7 foot plus, you're like a giant. Like that's when people are go to the NBA. Like what's his name? LeBron James is like what, 6'10" or something? He's ginormous. He has the somewhat advantages. Steph Curry had some disadvantages, but he outworked his disadvantages, just like you guys are gonna have to do if English is not your first language. He's gonna have to suck it up and do something with it. Watching hundreds, if not thousands of videos on how to start an e-commerce business, but I didn't see any results. I'd waste time either watching YouTube videos on how to sell shitty products from China and having a terrible reputation, or trying to piece together random advice from videos, but ended up overwhelming and confused with no clear strategy to follow. And after trying out so many different strategies, which all failed, my friends were telling me, e-commerce is a scam, bro. Just find a good job, bro. But even though I was seeing no results with e-com, I was ready to work my entire life. I wasn't ready to work right, just to become an average person who wasn't able to write. Damn, bro, you're already so far. This is the longest story of my life. This feels like it's taking 5 business days to read. So here's the thing. You can have long emails, but they shouldn't feel long. This email is not even really that long, but it feels really long because you're going on and on and on and on and on. and you're not actually giving me anything. You're basically saying you decided to watch YouTube videos. It didn't work very well because you would be wasting all your time watching YouTube videos. Your friends told you it was just a scam, but you didn't want to work your entire life. I decided to work with a professional in e-commerce instead of wasting months or even years. Because if I didn't, I'd been trying to fit randomly lifting weights into the gym without having guidance in each step. After 3 months of patiently, I finally got 31K. All thanks to my mentor. To make things results, after taking his methods, launched a course on how you can do the same. No. My genuine advice to you, my friend, is to write for people who have really good business opportunity marketing. Because if you just look at especially dropshippers, like their marketing is disgusting. Like this gives me the ick because, bro, I got this mentor. It was awesome. And after taking all of his methods on how to make 10K plus in just a couple months, I launched the course on how you can do the same. Click here to buy my course. Like buy my course is a meme. Those words should never be unironically uttered by somebody online ever. And I get it if you guys don't know that yet. But after spending the last 2-ish years in the business opportunity space and like multiple different parts of the biz op space, I've written for clients who are in real estate, who are in online coaching, who are online marketers, and doing other business opportunity stuff, and credit repair as well, which is also a really, drop shipping and credit repair are like the scummiest of them all. Not really that sure why. I guess I do know why, because drop shipping seems really easy. It's really easy to make it look like it's just a money glitch. But here's the thing, man. I launched a course on how you can do the same. But what actually is it? What did you actually learn? What's the actual value you're getting from this? So here's how I would reword it. Actually, no, honestly, the whole angle is kind of off. Because you're basically saying, bro, information can never make you money. You need a mentor. By the way, I have a YouTube video that you should check out, right? Like imagine if I came on here right now and I was like, guys, everybody inside the 40 Academy, you guys have access to all the videos you could ever want. But guess what? Videos ain't gonna get you there. You know that whole huge YouTube channel that I have with hundreds of videos and hundreds of hours of content and 8-hour free copywriting course? Yeah, that's not gonna get you anywhere. You're never gonna make any money. You have to get into 40 CI with me and be one of my mentorship students. Otherwise, you're doomed. You're cooked, bro. And also, that's just not even true. It's all just levels of support. Your marketing shouldn't feel like marketing. You shouldn't make somebody want to buy, or you shouldn't feel like you're selling. You're just teaching people. And here's the genuine truth, and here's what I'd even say in my marketing is this. It's all levels of support. If you want to do nothing but watch YouTube videos and try to make it with copywriting like that, absolutely you can. People have done it. It's going to take you the longest, and it's going to be the hardest compared to getting support from people who have already been there before, because you are watching the videos and you do have value. But let's say you get the next level up of support. You get the 40 Academy. Now you have even better videos. You have more structured learning phase, and you get people like Tyson 4D himself and all of his coaches and all of his best past students to review your copy. You also get a community. You also get new and updated content all the time that nobody else gets access to. All of that for a very low price considering what everyone else is charging. So you're getting more than your value's worth. YouTube is useless, and my mentor is the only reason why I was able to make this much money, and I launched a course on how you can do the same. To me, that sounds like I paid for mentorship, and mentorship really helped me. Now I'm going to give you a course, which isn't mentorship, which is basically a YouTube video. You're basically saying videos don't work. I just launched a video course. Go get it. So, yeah, I think you should go with a different angle. And if you're going to do a story email, I'll put it like this. Practice a story email about a specific event that led you to a strategic lesson. And I'll give you guys an example. I was outreaching to people way back in the day. All right. Most of you guys, young cats, didn't even hear about what copywriting even was. I'm talking about like 2 years ago. And I was, of course, doing what the professors taught me to do in the course I was in. I was in a course that was created by some bald kickboxer, right? No names here. But I was in this course. And inside the course, they were telling us, well, you need to open with a compliment and then give them a pitch. Open with a compliment and then give them a pitch. And so I tried this, right? So I started complimenting people. Hey, bro, love the page. I love how you did this other thing over here. By the way, I'm a copywriter. I can write you some awesome stuff. I made you 3 emails. Would you like to see them? Come to find out that people hated it because everybody was doing the exact same thing. It was also really scummy because you're complimenting them and pitching them in the very first email or message, and it never worked for anybody. So I went to the drawing board. I asked myself, okay, why aren't these compliments working? 1, they're scummy because you're pitching them in the same sentence. And 2, because everybody's doing them. So what did I do? Well, 1, I complimented them and then I left it alone. So if they replied, I wouldn't pitch to them right away. I would actually leave it alone for 3 days. And I realized that this worked a lot better before I actually went into my pitch. Now people were replying to me, so I knew that they were there. Right? I knew that someone's home when I'm outreaching to them. And I also don't kill the interaction. Because you pitching to somebody, first message always kills the interaction because it looks like you're just copy and pasting and copy and pasting, which you literally are. So just by changing up this one piece of outreach, I was able to get my very first client. And here's the lesson is that you'll start outreaching and you'll start to notice problems. I'm not getting replied to that much. When I send my free value, people ghost me. When I ask for people to get on the call, they give me an excuse or they say they already have somebody. And really think it through. And this is how you come to find breakthroughs. I was only 2 or 3 breakthroughs away from when I started and had 0 results to me closing a sales call every single week. And a lot of people come to me talking about these outreach methods don't work. Tyson, I've been sending a video intro DM and I haven't been getting anything back. That's not even the question. You're focused on the wrong thing. It's not the video intro DM. It's what are you saying in the video intro DM? What's the sequence look like? How are you saying it? These are all highly important things. So this is actually a sick email angle. I love this email angle. Not many people go for it or actually do it, but it's very nice. I can't keep getting away with this. Why dating is now my biggest fear. This is actually such a funny niche to do the suffering from success angle from, actually. Name, I have a dataphobia. I'm exposing myself, revealing the truth, my biggest fear revealed. Hey, name, 2 nights ago, my biggest fear came true. I was on a date with a Croatian model in a fancy Miami restaurant. Except on this night out, I chose to do something different. What I'm about to show you, which I told her, will guarantee that girls come flocking back to you for a second date every single time. What I did was so bold, so dramatic, and so unexpected that this Croatian beauty literally stormed out of the restaurant, crying her eyes out in jealousy, 4 hours after taking off in a strop. She video calls me in bed with nothing but her Tommy Hilfiger underwear, ready to make it up to me. Yet all I did at the restaurant was pull up my phone and crack a joke about the picture of my ex on my home screen. Oh, her? Yeah, we still hang out sometimes. She says I'm the best lay she's ever had. At that moment, my biggest fear came true. I could say whatever the hell I want, and it still wouldn't turn women off, no matter what I did or said. Every single date I went on, girls would come crawling back to me in the DMs, begging for a second date to make up for it. I literally could not fumble a date for the life of me. Why? Because the words you use on a woman doesn't matter nearly as much as how you say them. That's why confidence is so important. You don't have to learn pickup lines off by heart. Be the most jacked 6'3" dude in town, or have 100K in the bank for a beautiful woman to notice you. Because when you act and say things with confidence, girls cannot help but pay attention. If you want to know exactly what I do to get 2 to 3 dates with beautiful women every single week and turn any slip up into a winning move while saying whatever the hell I want, click here to master your dating confidence in 34 minutes. Cheers. Sign out. I would say that it's lengthwise, it's pretty good. I like lengthwise, it's fine. For me, emails can be as long as you need, as long as they are necessary, right? As long as necessary. Yeah, I'd say it works. I'd say it works with the right brand voice. I mean, like, if you're talking like FitX Fearless or Coach Kyle Dating, they would definitely say something like this. That's why confidence is so important, right? Yeah, I mean, you basically hit all the spots. I might tie the CTA into you kind of saved it with this one. I would say tie your CTA in a little bit more to the link, but you kind of saved it here. Slip up into a winning move. And this is just suggestion. This is not anything wrong with it, but I might go deeper on what it's like for the person struggling with this. So I might say something like, dudes always ask me, what do I say when I approach a girl? Or what do I say on a date? Or what do I do when the conversation gets dry? Bro, it doesn't matter. Pick something in the room and say something about it. For like, just talk. Just whatever comes to mind, just speak it. Okay, sweet. Value email for one of the clients. Let's get it. I know you're busting your ass out in the construction business world, doing long hours, late nights, working weekends that should have been spent barbecuing with the family. But instead, you're stuck juggling quotes, scheduling, and constantly making sure everything's running smoothly on site. Bro, as a former contractor employee, bro, those are the most stressed dudes I've ever met in my life. It's insane. I remember we did one of the most stressful job sites ever. It kept getting water damage. And by the end of it, like we were all working like 80 hours per week and he made no profit. He literally paid money out of pocket. He probably paid $5,000, $10,000 and worked for a month to complete the job. And they weren't even happy with it. The clients were pretty mad with it. So you do get pretty messed up. Years ago, I was in the exact same boat, trying to make things work, but feeling like I was spinning my wheels. Every project almost felt like a new fire to put out. No real systems in place, no breathing room, just endless tasks piling up. That was me, until I decided it was time to change, or I'd end up trading my hard hat for a straitjacket. Sweet. Now, I'm not here to tell you I magically turned everything around overnight, because believe me, it took me a hell load of work. But it was smart work. And today, that's exactly what the Profitable Builders Playbook is all about. I went from almost giving my life away to the construction world to helping hundreds of builders avoid the mistakes that kept me running in circles. It took me years to build the business that actually gave me back my time, allowed me to stop running around, and most importantly, was profitable. That's what I want to see happen to you, First Name, minus the couple years I spent figuring out the hard way. I believe you can turn your business around too, not by working harder, but by working smarter. You've already made the first step by grabbing the book. Just stick with me. Let's make sure you see the results you've been chasing. We're in this together. Talk soon, Marty. That's very good. I like it. There's not really too much to give. Only suggestions, really. So the only suggestions that I might have, actually, I like that it's quite engaging. It's not a vanilla copy, which is really good. Deeper on specific pains and solutions. So the solutions is systems, but like what kind of systems, right? So Profitable Builders Playbook is probably in there. I might add some bullets to something here. So where some of these lines kind of like swipe from the marketing they already had. Okay, sweet, let's check out this one. Dennis, you making 8 billion down the drain with ad spends. Hey name, there's turmoil happening right now in political ad spending. There's turmoil happening in the political ad spending. Times have changed. The old methods, they're just not cutting it anymore. Take a look at this chart from Axios. I will tell you, people do love charts. Digital ads are going to the moon. Okay, oh yeah, okay, I see that. But here's the crazy part. Most politicians still haven't figured out the right strategy. In 2020, campaigns spent around 8 billion. And what did it do? Not much of a dent, according to Business Insider. And I've broken down the key mistakes they made, mistakes anyone can learn from. See, with over $1 billion in ad spend in Facebook and Google, I realized that they missed the mark by not understanding their audience. Empty promises wouldn't cut it. They're meaningless without connecting with who's listening. So here's what I learned. Split test to see what works. Nothing is guaranteed without it. While they tried diving into digital ads without testing, I learned it takes hundreds and sometimes thousands of split tests to see consistent results. That's how I scaled without losing money down the well. And after analyzing every possible ad approach on Facebook and Google, I cracked the code to work with the algorithm, not against it. I might italicize that just so when I'm reading it, I have a better idea. I cracked the code to work with the algorithm, not against it. So if you want to start scaling effectively with ads, take a look at the $1 a day program here. Inside, you'll get live coaching, structured exercises, support with multiple coaches along the way, so you're never stuck. Dennis. I think that this is pretty good. I actually like the CTA over here. So if you want to start scaling effectively with ads, take a look at the $1 a day. I think in the beginning, I was a little bit lost because I feel as though the beginning could have been clearer. That's after my first read. I kind of felt like it was for politics or for politicians. There's turmoil happening. Times have changed. The old methods, they're just not cutting anymore. Take a look at this. Digital ads are going to the moon. But here's the crazy part. Most politicians still haven't figured out the right strategy. I might put like a what's in it for me somewhere up here. Consider what's in it for me earlier. Something like digital ads are going to the moon. But here's the crazy part. Most politicians still haven't figured out the right strategy. In 2020, campaigns spent around $8 billion. And what did it do? Didn't make much of a dent, according to Business Insider. And I've broken down the key mistakes they made, mistakes anyone can learn from. This is kind of like a what's in it for me, but I might have it a lot earlier. I did like your learning lesson. Learning lesson was a W. Live coaching for me for 6 weeks. Structured exercises with today's market insights and action steps. Support from multiple coaches so you're never stuck. See, here you give a benefit, which is cool, but in the other ones, you don't really give a benefit. I might say something like live coaching from me so you can get your questions answered right away. Structured exercises with today's market insights with actionable steps to complete so you're never lost. Support from multiple coaches along the way that you can always ask questions to. Some benefits to these would definitely help, and also some specifics. Is this linked? Oh, thank goodness it is. Welcome to the $1 a day program. Okay, so this is for Facebook marketing, right? So you can craft some, oh yeah, I know he definitely has some good unique mechanisms and things in here that you can add. That's funny. My YouTube is literally Alex Ramosi, Sam Sulik, lo-fi music. $1 a day is the engine that helps us grow revenues 10 times faster when we have the initial ingredients. Oh yeah, so they have a lot of copy here to take from. But yeah, man, you had some good stuff in here for sure. My student Nona came into a program with a solid mindset. Within a week, he got his first $3K payout. Goal is to build relationships and show social proof. Get the reader to sign up. Hook, what's in it for me, story, CTA. $3K within his first week. Here's how he did it. Hey, first name. This has got to be the craziest results of any of my students have gotten. My student Noah just got his first $3K payout within a week of joining the program. Gonna aim for $5K payout this week. Truth is, Noah wasn't some special guy who was born with closing skills. Okay, this is for remote closers. Just like me, he learned it himself. But with the right guidance, work ethic, and discipline, anything is possible. The thing most people never realize is that a special background or being born to be good at this is only excuses keeping them away from their dreams. Now, if you're ready to take advantage of the $300 billion industry, then click here to get your hands on the exact same strategies Noah used to get his first $3K within the first week. Cheers. P.S. Due to hectic schedule, I'm only going to be able to take on 5 more people. So if you're serious, sign up now. Okay, so this is a very good example of how we can make a testimonial email way better. When testimonial emails, I'm going to make this off the cuff, but ask yourself this. Because here's the thing, right? What you want to avoid with testimonial emails is George made $2K. Reese made $3K. If you want to make money like them, come join the program. That kind of leaves the person reading like, bro, what? What do you mean? But here's how I might do it instead. The way that Noah actually learned this stuff and learned remote sales closing is because and what was the actual thing? How did he get the client and how did he make the sales? Those are the big things. How do you get the skill and how do you execute the skill to make money? It could be anything. Let's call it dropshipping. Because he knew how to pick a winning product, he was able to make 3K. Okay, so how do you pick a winning product? Easy. You have to pick something that's trending. You have to pick something that is expensive, and you have to pick something that you know you can improve the marketing. Once you find something with those 3 things, then you're able to make money just like he did. If you want help finding a winning product using these 3 things, then I'm going to show you how. So notice what I did there, right? I put the CTA a couple layers underneath the testimonial. The email is layered. So first you have the win. That's on the top layer, right? That's what this has. Second, you have how they got the win. This is kind of like more motivational pep talk stuff, ending it off with CTA, which isn't going to be as strong, right? So what the win is, the strategy behind how they got the win, and then also value. You want to have value in the testimonial email itself. Pep talk is arguably value, but not really. Value is something that someone can use tomorrow in order to get results. If I showed you step by step how to find prospects, find copywriting clients on Facebook that aren't on Instagram and outreach to them step by step, every single second you see me do it, that's value. That's something that you could use tomorrow. But if I created a copywriting video and I was like, guys, you can do this, man. Like copywriting it got to be in your soul and your heart. You got this. It's not value in the same way. So you want testimonial, what they actually did, value explaining what they did, and then still another layer. And that's where the CTA is, where you're tying the CTA into what they did. Right. So here's remote closing. Right. So with remote closing, I don't know the business model very well. I believe you have to get clients, much like copywriting, and then you have to get sales for that client. So, how'd they get the client? How'd they get the client even though they didn't have sales experience? Well, they got it because we showed them how to what? Was it building a personal brand? Was it sending out Loom videos? Right? What was the actual value? So by creating your testimonials like that, first of all, people aren't going to feel marketed to as much. And second of all, it's going to be a lot more effective. It's going to get more people to sign up and more people to be interested because it feels real. It's not just like, I actually watched an ad the other day, and I'm not going to say any names, but they're on a boat and they're like, Brody, how much money do you make? He's like, 50 grand, bro. Johnny, how much money you make? 30 grand, bro. Tommy, how much money you make? 20 grand, bro. If you want to make money just like them, buy my thing. And I just thought it was really lame, right? And most people are going to be like, they're just not going to buy it because anybody can say this. Calling out all burnt out graphic designers. Discover the POC method, aka Pac, aka Tupac Shakur. Let's go. Hit him up. Method 500 plus designers have used to scale their businesses to 30K per month in under 6 months without spending hours studying SEO, attending 10 networking events per month, or posting on social media every day. Yes, I want to scale my graphic design. I would say, depending on your research, this works. The reason why I say depending on research is because presumably that is who he's speaking to. Let's see what this looks like. Step 1, watch this video. Step 2, book a strategy call. Yeah, what a shit page in the nicest way. 30 minutes, bro. Are you this? Oh, nah, bro. What the hell? Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you woke up without feeling stressed? Can you even remember when that was? If that's the case, then listen closely. To me, it feels presumptuous. I'm not a master of what he's saying, but feels presumptuous. If the VSL would load, maybe I'd know. But this could be like his actual audience. So, for example, when I wrote for business to business owners and I was writing consulting, like, hey, you want to grow your business? Hey, you want to grow your business? 100% of the people who come on aren't necessarily stressed. Like I find, or if they are stressed, it's not like, yeah, man, I want to join because I'm stressed. Like I wish you guys would have seen the coaching program. The last one that I joined was Tanner Chittister's. It was like an $18,000 program. And we got on the sales call. I just answered all his questions and he was like, yeah, that'll be this much money. And I was like, okay, yeah, cool. Like I didn't join because I was stressed or I'm like, oh, you don't know where your next client's coming from. Or I just thought it would help me. I thought it would help me. I wanted answers from people who have built businesses like the one that I want to build. So I got it. So with that being said, and I would consider myself a quote unquote dream client for them as well, because I'm somebody who already has an established business. You don't always want to work with people who are like, really down in the dumps. So I might start with something softer. It was if I were you and you were me. I'm not saying it's necessarily wrong. I might just suggest that. If that's the case, then listen closely. In the next few minutes, you'll discover how you can escape that busy but broke cycle. That's pretty sick. You know what this is? I'm going to go deep right here. One of the 4 types of unique mechanisms. The one type of unique mechanism is a dream state unique mechanism, right? So everyone's heard this. This is the 3-step trifecta method that I call the POC method, right? This is a dream state one. Then you have kind of like negative pain state unique mechanisms. So busy but broke cycle, right? That's still kind of a unique mechanism because it's like a name to a thing that means something, right? Or when I say a lot of people suffer from vanilla copy, that's a unique mechanism. Then there's the other type of unique mechanism, which is simply something unique about your product, right? Now this sounds a lot like the dream state one, but it is opposed to the unique mechanism, which essentially means something that all products have, but you're making yours unique. So the example here that I like to give is there was a fire alarm company and they were selling fire alarms. Now with fire alarms, people just go, okay, well, whatever one's cheapest works. But they say, oh, we have gold-plated wiring in our fire alarms, so that's why they last so long. But the kicker was every single fire alarm business already had these gold wires. But because they mentioned them and pretended like, oh, this is why we're so special and different, that's the exact reason why they got so many sales afterwards. So those are the 4 types. But the most important ones that I actually wanted to bring to your attention is that there are positive unique mechanisms and negative unique mechanisms. Busy but broke cycle that leads you to hustling just to keep the lights on. I'm talking about working endless nights on more projects than you can count on 2 hands. Networking and marketing like your life depends on it, only to be stuck with startups that offer little compensation. Waking up every morning with a lump in your throat, hoping this will be the day everything magically changes for you. I'd say over here, it might be getting long-winded. I like what you have, but like it kind of feels like a little bit of copy compensation. Another negative unique mechanism. Copy compensation is essentially when copywriters try to make their copy sound like they try to bring up the level by just shoving and cramming as much stuff as they can. You know when you got like a suitcase and you're about to travel and like you only have one suitcase to carry, so you try to put your clothes in there, your equipment in there, you try to take everything in there, and by the time you're coming back, because you're over there, you're buying stuff, right? You're buying like new clothes, you're going shopping, you're getting everything. It's just not gonna work. And that's kind of what people try to do with their copy. And that's what I feel like you're doing here. Nothing here is like wrong or bad. Like all this stuff is good, but you could either spread it out or make it concise. Because we're a little bit in here and I haven't really gotten anything tangible yet. And let me guess, despite all the work you're doing, you have unappreciative clients that still try haggling the price with you. If this is how you feel, you felt the same way I did 5 years ago. Or if you say, if this is how you feel, you felt the same way I did 5 years ago. It's kind of like a misplaced modifier because you're saying you felt the same way I did 5 years ago. You know what I mean? It's kind of a little bit confusing. So I might reword this. I get your point though. I'm Patrick. While I may be making over 100K per month while working less than 30 hours per week right now, I used to be in the same situation you're in right now. See, when you read things out loud, you start to notice redundancies. When you say like now 2 times in the same sentence really close together, kind of sounds like, you're saying it too much. I worked with these low paying clients. Despite staying, this is kind of like a weird sentence. I might put a comma there. I worked with these low paying clients, and despite staying up until 2 a.m. most nights just to complete the projects, my thankless clients barely acknowledged the effort I was putting in. They were often demanding even more from me while barely paying me enough to pay my expenses. See, this is another one. Redundant. My boy need a thesaurus. Synonyms. Thesaurus, synonyms, / ChatGPT. Those are three solutions. That's the second time. So every night when I'd go to bed, I'd think to myself, is this the month I'll be unable to afford electricity? I would word this differently. Will I be able to pay my light bill this month? When you say, is this the month I'll be unable to afford electricity? You're kind of using the negative. Right? So it's the same, like it's more understandable and quick to pop in your head when you just use the positive language. So it's like when a cop holds a gun at you, he's not going to be like, don't run, because then you're going to hear, run, and then you go run. What do they say instead? Freeze. When you get them the positive, that's what pops into your head. It's just going to make it flow more smoothly, more understandable. But I knew it was unsustainable to continue living like this. I think the VSL does this. So also it's a 30-minute goddamn VSL, so I hope that it has this in there. I think you should get to the system/solution quicker instead of focusing so much on story. It is important, but weave in some other stuff too. Because it's kind of just reading. And there's not really much like what's in it for me or about what actually worked. So I'll give you an example, right? Let me ask you a question. Look, copywriters, I get it. Outreaching is something that most people don't even do, not because it's hard, not because it's difficult, not because it's impossible, literally just because they don't know where to start. And I could literally be right beside you and do it right in front of you. But still, when you go ahead and do it, it's still going to feel wrong because you're not sure if you're doing it right or not. And what's the point in wasting a bunch of time and doing it wrong? When I learned how to outreach in this specific way by just doing 5 outreaches a day, which is literally a tenth of what most people tell you to do, by just 5 outreaches a day, I was able to get a client on my 34th day. And I know what you're probably thinking. 5 outreaches a day is not nearly enough volume to get a client. And you're right. It's not nearly enough volume to get a client if you're outreaching haphazardly and without value. Let me explain. And then I get into what it is and how it works and why this is so good. right? So now I'm talking about the thing, and I read my story in there. Right? I can have my story in there, but you don't really want just like deep story, or at least it's just a suggestion, really. Some people or clients are going to be like, I've met some clients that are really, really into storytelling. They're like, everything has to be a story. Make it a story. So in that case, just make it a story. But I think that I would go more of a tangibility route sprinkled into that story. Something needed to change. That something ended up being a concept my mentor drilled into me. Something needed to change is like what would I call this? I think you could come up with a better scroll stopper. Like if you look at some really dope pages, the scroll stoppers will be like, on month 3, I was making $12,000 a month. That's like the scroll stopper. Or my wife told me she would divorce me next month if I didn't get a job or get a client. So I knew something had to happen because I didn't want to get divorced because that shit would drain me dry. I don't even have the money for that. I barely had any money for marriage, let alone divorce. That's something my mentor drilled into me, which cleared most of the brain fog I had. It felt like realizing everything. Just say you realized it. You can say this way shorter. Yeah, cut that down. The advice completely changed my journey's trajectory and transformed my life soon after. Much love to, was this Arvind? My boy, you talking like, those Tesla bots? This is how I'd expect them to read. The advice completely changed my journey's trajectory and transformed my life soon after. Imagine if we're just hanging out having a beer and I just said that to you in a sentence. You'd be like, bro, speak more conversationally. I think that would help. I'll get into the exact concept later. But after realizing how many people were incorrectly building their businesses, how we just talked about scroll stoppers? This is like a scroll starter. That's a good unique mechanism for a problem. Scroll starter. I've noticed this obviously from making YouTube videos, but whenever I'm like, and before we get into that, you're probably wondering who I am. Retention. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. With that in mind, I think that you'd either be better sprinkle in real intrigue here could do you well. So for example, if I was like, the advice completely changed my journey's trajectory. Instead of outreaching like everybody taught me, I was only outreaching 5 times per day. And by the end of this page, you're going to understand exactly why. Because boom. See how I just gave you a little tiny bit of information about what it is, instead of being like, but we'll get to that later. For now, let's talk more about me. So if you give like some details throughout that people have objections about and they're like, what? No way. But after realizing how many people were incorrectly building their businesses, wasting so much time and energy on the painful learning curve that sent me back years, I knew I had to help others escape the overworked and underpaid lifestyle to help people live fruitful lives while working a job they love. But first, I want to share with you an ugly truth. Here are 3 reasons why graphic designers fail. I would say like there are only. And then you can kind of get into what they are. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Overall, the writing itself is good. I think it could benefit from kind of like a little shift in structure where you're leaving some more tangible intrigue throughout the thing. That will keep people reading a lot better than like, I'm going to reveal it later in this page. Instead, like give people some really crazy intrigue points and then also lighten up on the tone a little bit. I'd say maybe even consider putting this through Hemingway. Hemingway will give you a reading level to this and you can make it simpler. Go through ChatGPT, make it simpler. But overall, I think that it's good. It's a good start for sure. With those changes, I think that you definitely have something good here. Good to send in for free value for sure. Send out free value like this. Try to get somebody to open your email or open your Instagram on a daily basis, maybe every 1 to 2 days, maybe multiple people per day. Send them some free value like this, and I think you'll snag one for sure. High ticket offers, a scalar builder. Any B2B coach / consultant, imposter syndrome can be a good thing if you fight out of it by making money. Pretty good. I'd like to know what the CTA is before we go into here, but either way. Subject line, I just feel so fake. Okay. How I scaled my business with imposter syndrome. Sweet. CJN. Imposter syndrome made me 7 figures. Is a sickness of success. Okay. Ever felt like you're pretending to be more than you are? Lucky for you, that's how I got filthy rich. Oh, that's how you get filthy rich. Okay, sweet. Every millionaire has felt the way you think. I would say felt this way. Every millionaire has felt this way. They use the same feeling to fill their pockets. That's how imposter syndrome can make you 7 figures. I mean, you kind of said the same thing here. I think you could sum up this whole line with many people run from imposter syndrome or ask how to fix it, when in reality, it's exactly what's going to push you to make more money. Let me explain. This isn't really flow. This is more of just kind of being a bit redundant and not being as precise with your economy of words. Lucky for you, all right, yeah, ever felt like you're pretending to be more than you are? Lucky for you, that's how you get filthy rich. Even every millionaire has felt the way you think, and they used this same feeling to fill their pockets. This is how imposter syndrome can make you 7 figures. You feel that? You feel how it's like, kind of the same thing? Let's face it, everyone had imposter syndrome at one point. Whether you're rich or poor, you felt the feeling. Let's face it, that's like a transition right there. The first transition into like the middle, the first to middle, is usually something like, let's face it, or let me explain, if you're saying like a big challenge, or let's be real. Everyone had imposter syndrome at one point. I'm guessing there's supposed to be a comma there. Whether you're rich or poor, you felt this feeling. You felt the feeling. It's like cellar spiders crawling around in your mind. It makes you second guess every positive move for your business, because that's for the real hustlers. Even Albert Einstein said, I feel compelled to think of myself as an involuntary swindler. Newsflash, it's not going away. Do you guys think that they really got what imposter syndrome feels like? I think I would come up with an analogy like, imposter syndrome makes you feel like you're a surgeon, but you never went to doctor school. And someone else's life is in your hands, and you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. You feel guilty, you feel confused, and overall you feel anxious. That's how I would describe it. For the real hustlers, I'm not sure people really are afraid that they're not real hustlers. It's not going away, and you should be thankful it won't. This is the exact feeling compels every successful person to take action. Yeah, you've said this a few times. Why, you ask? Because the imposter is determined to become who they believe they're not. That's pretty sick. This exact mentality that made me 3.7 million revenue. Of course, I questioned along the way. Does a high school dropout like me have the right to sell a 5-figure product? Even if people bought my 6-figure product, I'd probably ask the same question. So first name, the next time you feel like an imposter, remember, you won't buy a costume if you don't first try it on. Medi. PS, the video here will teach you how to make high ticket sales for your business. And kind of like a PS. Okay. You have potential in this. I think that your idea makes sense. I think that kind of wrapping it up in the best way possible could use some help. So the other thing is that this is kind of still up in the air, right? Like, what am I actually supposed to do? You're telling me to, the next time you feel like an imposter, remember this thing. And you said, I kept asking myself, does a high school dropout like me have the right to sell a 5-figure product? And then you were like, you should ask the same question. So how I might put it, right, is, again, with the pep talk type of emails, I like to make them super actionable, or at least a little bit more actionable than just like, next time you feel like this, remember this. I felt imposter syndrome because I dropped out of high school. So what right do I have to sell something that's 5 figures? But you know what that made me do? That made me hone in and make the absolute best product ever, because I knew that people were going to hate on me regardless. I just didn't want the haters to be right. I didn't want to put together a lazy product. So I made sure that it pushed me extra hard. And this is what you should do. So the next time you feel imposter syndrome, you should work 5 or 10 times harder. And all of a sudden, that feeling of deservedness is going to start filling you up. That might be a different angle. You say a few things like quite a lot. And I think the main thing is economy of words. Economy of words. And precise ideas that are concise and precise. So what I mean by that is like every rich person has felt this way. Ever felt like you're pretending to be more than you are? Yeah, like the intro especially. In the intro, be as ruthless as possible with your words up here. Super important. So I think if you worked on those things, that it could be a lot better. I think that there's some lines in here. You know what you do have? You have good lessons and kind of like, I call them tweetable lines, where it's kind of just like 1 line or 2 line where you wrap up the whole email and drive home the point. I think that those are good. I advise you to work on emails that have a CTA in the email instead of just PS CTA. Reason being is because it's easy just to make a pep talk and say PS CTA. It's extremely easy. It's going to challenge you more if you give like a really learning lesson about something in your actual niche, right? Something that actually helps people, and then tie it into a CTA, whether it be a YouTube video or a resource or a product. But good, awesome. Real estate wholesale. Topic, a low effort way to generate deals by outsourcing certain tasks, automating lead generation, and building a referral network so deals come effortlessly. Sweet. What's in it for me? How to find a consistent stream of hot leads. How to get no sweat hot deals. That's pretty fire. So this is like a really good alternative. No sweat hot deals. New lazy investor method. Oh my God, I hate that. I'm triggered by that word. Collecting 10K checks the easy way. Stop struggling, start closing. Sweet. Hey, first name. How come there are some wholesalers swimming in deals every month while others struggle to even close? The perplexing question. I like this opening. Fire. Well, to help you bridge the gap instantly, I'm going to reveal the new lazy investor method to get a steady flow of high quality leads. See, I know that this is something most real estate investors will chop an arm off for because they're sick and tired of doing the same task without seeing progress. These next tasks better be mad relatable. Cold calling uninterested leads 300 times a day, sending out generic we buy houses mailers, or endlessly scrolling Zillow or Craigslist. I'm not a real estate person, but I think you nailed those, dude. These tactics might have worked, might have. This is a nitpick thing, but use contractions. And I don't mean like contractions like someone's going into labor and they have contractions. I mean like might have, could have been just might have, or it is, could be it's. But with today's competitive market, they're simply outdated. So instead of sticking to the old way that leaves you burnt out, and even worse, empty-handed, zero deals, successful investors are using a more streamlined and no sweat approach, introducing the lazy investor method. It's a method that attracts pools of hyperactive sellers who are dying to get their property under contract so that you can cash in 10K checks without usual hustle. How? Simple. It gives you access to the systems that show you how to outsource repetitive tasks, set up an automated lead generation, build a powerful referral network. These systems save you hours of your manual work and let you grow pipeline deals effortlessly, which has been helping hundreds of people like you make this real estate thing finally work. This is pretty damn long, not gonna lie. Long. That's a long one, bro. Average 9-to-5ers, real estate beginners, anyone. So if you would want to consistently put deals in your pipeline using the lazy investor method, click here. I think there's still a few things that you could add. Do the double CTA. I think right here you could add intrigue or a little bit lower, but your options are not statements and also objection handles. I think that could really help this email. So not statements, like the lazy investor method is using pools of hyperactive sellers who are dying to get their property under contract. And no, I'm not talking about something else that they've probably heard or even something else you've probably heard. It's unlike anything you've ever heard of before. I just started using it. And the reason why most people don't use it is because they're too sidetracked with what most of the industry is telling you to do already. Outsource repetitive tasks, set up automated lead generation, and build a powerful network. And look, I get it. You're probably thinking that these things don't actually work, or what if I don't have a network, or what if I'm just starting out? Well, this works even though all of those things might be true, and here's why. So a few more justifications, like those are what make things truly persuasive. If you give just insane justifications that are really, really good, and you also have really, really solid objection handles. So objection handles are two-parted. One, you have to be really, really good at understanding what the first objection might be. This is something I practice all the time and I tell you guys to do, is that when you make any sort of claim, like what's the maybe top 3 to 5 objections, and order them from most common to least common. So if I told you the best way to get copywriting clients, I don't know why I'm on this example, build your personal brand so that people trust you more. Well, I don't want to be an influencer. Why don't I just build a website instead? Or what if they don't even look at my profile? Or what if I don't know what to post? What if I don't have any good pictures? Right? Those might be like the top 5 objections or things that might come in people's mind. So then I might order those and address the first one. So that's one way you can do it. Another way you can do it is just adding not statements. So not statements like, no, I'm not talking about this, I'm not talking about that. That's how you just add intrigue. So the stuff that you have here on paper is good stuff. You have good relatables right there. It'll be outdated. But with today's, they're simply outdated. Yeah, like things like this as well. You could add justifications to these. And if you guys want to know what justifications are, I have a lot, like a week of justifications inside the 4D Academy, which are absolutely insane. But things like quotes, analogies, hypotheticals, and more. Boom. Awesome. Get the reader to watch the free training. Okay. How I went from living paycheck to paycheck, unable to afford daycare for my newborns, to making 7 figures while spending ample time with my kids at home. Sweet. That sounds like a good one. Is this a story email? Origin story email. Hell yeah. This better be good. This is a good setup. I like what I'm seeing so far. I was looking paycheck to paycheck. Right? Didn't you say this? I think you could change these. What's in it for me and angle should be different or more different. You get the point. You're about to lose 3K per month. Here's how to avoid this. Seriously, how could anyone possibly afford that? I was fuming inside. Let me explain. You could just put let me explain. Or you didn't even really have to put that at all. I was fuming inside. The year was 2016 and I was working overtime as a nurse while pregnant, just to qualify for maternity leave. The year was 2016 and I was working overtime as a nurse while pregnant. I think I would just put it up there. I think it might look better. While pregnant. And then I read this as like a different line, so it might work better up here. This is probably like a flow thing to where this feels like a new sentence. Then as soon as my son was born, bam, a $3,000 daycare bill slapped me across the face. That was unbelievable. I'd probably put it. It was unbelievable. I couldn't afford that enormous cost, despite thinking I did everything right. I got good grades, graduated from university, and got a high-paying job helping other people. But I was barely scraping by while being overworked. Permanent bags under my eyes became the most important prominent facial feature. Okay, sweet. So I feel like I opened a storybook, which is kind of how you want it to happen, but you also want a touch of reality somewhere in behind this. And this is something that's actually genuinely quite difficult to do, because it's like, how do I take a step back and address the reader as I'm in the middle of a story? It's something that took me a long, long time to figure out. So I'll do it here. I'll show you a few places where you can kind of interject your commentary and why you're telling the story and how it's going to help the reader. Seriously, how could anyone possibly afford that? I was fuming. Let me explain what happened. The year was 2016. I was working overtime as a nurse while pregnant just to qualify for maternity leave. Then, as soon as my son was born, bam, a $3,000 daycare bill slapped me across the face. Chances are you yourself have been in a similar situation. You tried to do everything right, and still the circumstances didn't pan out. And that's exactly the situation that I was in. And then you might go on a little bit more. You could even add some what's in for me there. I have to read more to see what the what's in for me is and where this email is going to really stay. But we'll keep going. Despite thinking I did everything right, I got good grades, graduated from university, got a high-paying job helping other people. But I was barely scraping by while being overworked. Permanent bags under my eyes became the most prominent facial feature. My face would hurt after my sheet for smiling so long every day. But regardless of my efforts, I'd cross my fingers at the end of each month, hoping I'd made enough to pay off my bills. The feeling was like, see, right here, you're doing like, what would I call it? I don't think I would call it compensation. I think I would just say too much story, not enough marketing. What if I made an email? What's a really good book? A really good book that I like is The Alchemist. It's kind of a storybook, but it's also a personal development book. Anyone ever heard of it? It's really good. If I just transcripted like the first 3 pages of a really good book into a marketing email, it would be a good book, but it wouldn't be a very good marketing email. It wouldn't do very well. Like you'd hand it to a client, they'd be like, what the hell is this? I'd be like, well, it's your story email, man. I made you a really good story. So the reason why is because even at this was like, getting to be a lot of story. And then you keep going with more analogies and more explaining and more analogies. It's a good example of why to say that your copywriting stories should not be like book stories. Book stories are like, I sit down on my computer, I turn it on, I hear the whirring of the computer fans, light is on my face, and I'm looking at my computer screen. Like it's like very, very, very extremely detailed where it doesn't necessarily need to be. It's kind of getting lost in the details. Hoping the machine won't lose its charge before the deadline, I promised myself that one day I'd be able to provide for my family without missing a moment with my kids. I went down the internet rabbit hole, endlessly searching for a solution until I eventually come across digital marketing. The rest is history. Within 1 year, I made my first 7 figures online, more money than I'd made 10 years as a nurse. Since then, I've bought my dream house. I've been able to work my desired hours and comfort in my home while spending time, ample children. Digital marketing changed my life first name, and the side hustle could change yours too. If you'd like to know where to start making reliable money online, click here to watch the free digital marketing training. This is a really, really great example. I'm glad that you brought this in. So imagine if like you're watching Avengers Endgame or something. They're in the final battle with Thanos, right? You watch this whole 2.5 hour movie. And then the Black Panther just goes up and punches Thanos in the face and knocks him out and he's dead. That kind of be like an anticlimactic movie, right? Here, we're talking about like how it really felt when you like had no money and it sucked really badly and you couldn't do this and that for your kids, But then I learned digital marketing and the rest was history. And then I made a bunch of money. If you want to make a bunch of money too, click here. It's kind of like you skipped over the part where it looks like your protagonist is going to die or go away. Like that's why Thanos won at the end of Endgame. Like the bad guy won. But then in the next movie in the series, obviously he changed things around. So my point being that what you could do, right, is really cut down on this story a lot. So here's how I might tell it off the top of my head. It was 2016. I was pregnant and all the bills were piling up. People really don't understand all the bills that come with bearing a child until they have one. For example, the $3,000 daycare bill. And it was at this point that I knew I needed to make money because I went to the daycare with literally no money and asked and begged them and pleaded them to watch my child as I went to work because I couldn't pay them. So I started owing everybody. And I knew that if I didn't make something happen fast, then I could forget about, let alone putting my kids through college. I wouldn't even be able to raise them and afford things for them. So I knew that there was some way to make money online. I couldn't get another job because I was literally working 24/7. I had already applied to the places that paid more money, but I wasn't qualified. Couldn't get those either. And I had already exhausted and borrowed money from everybody else I knew, friends and family. So I knew that this all came down to me. So I knew the only way for me to make more money was through a side hustle. Now, I saw tons of people talking about online ways to make money, but it all just seemed like garbage. It all seemed like a scam. And after sifting through business model and method and system, I finally found digital marketing, and I was extremely skeptical of it. I thought to myself, am I just wasting my time here? Am I wasting my time with this digital marketing thing that I could just be used working to make more money? Is this even real? Will it actually work? Are the people I'm watching just lying to me, trying to get my money? All these questions ran through my mind every single day, but I didn't care. I knew something had to change, so I kept working at it and working at it and working at it. And things seemed bleak, but then suddenly they started to seem a little bit better. I made my first dollar online. And while it was only $1, 100 cents, I wasn't able to buy milk with it. I wasn't able to buy food with it. I wasn't able to buy diapers with it. But you know what? It was the most meaningful $1 I had ever made in my life because it was my first dollar online. And if I could make $1, all of a sudden it felt like I could make $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. And eventually I did. And that's when making money online with digital marketing actually became real for me. Now, if you're reading this right now, chances are you're skeptical as well. And I know that I was as well, like I just said. So if you want to know exactly how digital marketing works from the ground up, from someone who started with absolutely zero experience, then click here and I'll show you how. So the story doesn't really stop with just what it was like, before they found digital marketing. It's like if they found digital marketing and then everything worked and then I got rich. If you want to learn how, click here. It's taking all the persuasion away from why somebody would click. So my end advice summed up really short and succinct. Make this beginning of the story way smaller, but just as, if not more impactful. Keep telling more of the story and your wins and losses and what was going through your mind as you started digital marketing and more of that story. Just as, if not even more important than kind of the situation you were in story. This email will kill your social anxiety. 8 years of dating experience inside. Sweet. That's a good angle. You want to know what angle I'm actually going to be doing in the near future? I just thought of it this morning. I think it's a fire angle. I think the angle's fire. I have to save it for something big. So I think a copywriting course, maybe the next free one that I do, or some sort of video. I screenshot all of the invoices on information that I purchased, which is going into $40,000. So, and I'm going to be like, this is all the information that I've purchased on copywriting and marketing. This is $40,000 that I've spent to learn the things that I'm about to teach you today for free. I think that's going to be a sick intro. I think that will get people hyped, and it actually is true too. So it's not some value stack garbage where I'm talking about, oh, you get this and this, and you get my 5-piece framework for $4,000. That's worth $4,000, and you get it today for $27. No, this is actual money that left my bank account. This is not some value stack crap. This email will kill your social anxiety. Oh yeah, and that's just cost narration, right? I think cost narration is becoming more and more and more important in the digital marketing world for sure, which is essentially like using your own testimonial and proof. Hey, first name, are you tired of staying home and only talking to a small circle of friends? If so, you're just like me when I was 20. Maybe I think I might just tweak it. And this is not a critique. This is more of like a suggestion. When you say, are you tired of staying home and only talking to a small circle of friends? A lot of like introvert social anxiety people aren't necessarily tired of that. They find that they do that and they don't want to do that, if that makes sense. So I would ask it like, are you someone who tends to stay home and keep to a very small circle of friends? Or are you someone who stays in the house a bit more than they know they should? Or has a small circle of friends that they'd like to expand maybe? If so, you're just like me when I was 20. I would play video games all day without talking to anyone. I was so shy that my hands used to shake uncontrollably whenever I talked to women. But after a few simple changes, I turned my social skills around. Yeah, okay, so the thing here is that you have the right idea. You kind of lay it on a little weak. So it's kind of weak. It's kind of haphazard. It's kind of frivolous. You kind of just put it in there. You kind of like, I was so shy, my hands would shake when I talked to girls. It's like, give me more, right? So if you're just like me when I was 20, right? All I would do is play video games. And on the off chance I would be at the grocery store checking out my groceries and it was a woman, I would basically have a nervous breakdown and stutter and look like an idiot every single time. My social anxiety was so much that it was basically debilitating. Even going out in public tended to be hard sometimes. Now, the reason why the example I gave was a little bit more fleshed out is because when I read this, what you just sent, you say, all I ever did was play video games. I was so shy that when I talked to girls, I'd shake uncontrollably. My initial thought is, why are you talking to girls if you just said that you only play video games? What situation are you talking to girls in? Are you trying to talk to girls? Are you like cold approaching? Because if you're cold approaching, that's different than even if you're at the grocery store getting checked out by a female and you're literally over there soiling yourself. Like that's how nervous you are. That's like a different level. So suggestions. But after a few simple changes, I turned my social skills around. Here are 3 things I did to overcome my social anxiety. I'm feeling a little bit of vanilla copy, right? Just a little bit. So you're hitting all the points, but it's not yet to the point, like it's giving like 5 or 6 out of 10, right? Which is not bad, but if you really just want to make it to where someone reads this and like, oh shoot, that was good, bro. You're almost there, right? You just have a couple more things to do. But after a few simple changes, I turned my social skills around. There's no intrigue here. I feel like you're going to give me like tip number 1, go out more. Tip number 2, speak louder. Tip number 3, meditate or something. Like it feels like this is basic stuff that I have already heard before. Right. So what I would do is I would actually handle that objection. So this is how nervous I was. This is how socially crippled I was. So you kind of just give a chronology before you get into things. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, is that it's giving really chronology and not really like short story before you get into the listicle. And your story can be just as short before you get into the listicle. Yeah, and your lists are pretty small. So it's all right to have it a little bit longer up here. So I might say something like, and I thought that it would be impossible to fix myself, but fast forward a couple months later, and just by doing 3 extremely unconventional things, I actually found that I was able to not only delete my social anxiety, but almost be able to turn on my extrovert switch. Right? I created like this extrovert switch inside of me to where I'm still a natural introvert, but if need be, I can become an extrovert and flourish in public. This is the stuff that takes your copy from 5, 6 to like 9 and 10 when you're able to come up with really good, unique mechanisms for problems and for solutions. One that I was actually thinking of today is like just in copywriting. I'm not sure what I'm going to make it yet, but the perfect fit copywriter. And I would build like a Venn diagram, 3. And it's like, you want it to be in the middle. So like one might be skill, the other one might be outreach, and the other one might be like focus or something. I don't know. Maybe it'll be the perfect fit copywriter or the perfect fit business model, to where your business model wants to meet all 3 of these criteria. And then obviously I'd make it somehow so that maybe like building a skill would be in the middle. What skills do you want to build? Well, let's talk about them, right? This is what really good copywriters do. And I know it might sound kind of extreme to build a unique mechanism for every single email, but bro, it's like, picture it like this. You guys know that when outreaching to potential clients, the people who give the most value win. You guys know that, right? So emails are no different. Yes, you're going to have to spend more time on each prospect, but you're trying to win every single time. Don't be like the people out there that are like, yeah, I'm going to outreach to 100 people today. Send 0 free value. Just send them a message. Hey, how's it going? I like your stuff and I'm a copywriter. You should hire me. I'll work for you for free for 1 week. Let me know. And just send that out. Boom, 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 boom. Spam it out to as many people as possible. On the other hand, what works better? Spending as much time and effort possible on building someone some awesome free value. So you have to really come up with some really creative and engaging stuff for each and every single email. I might even open with maybe something like almost a joke or a misdirect. Anyways, we'll keep reading. 1, say yes whenever you're invited somewhere. Even if the activity bored me to tears, I'd show up to get more chances to leave the house and talk to people. Women can sense if you haven't talked to anyone in months. So given opportunities to socialize as possible. Okay. Leave your house at least 20 to 30 minutes every day. It doesn't matter where you're going as long as you talk to everyone you see. I started doing this for only 20 minutes and I'm consistent with it at 28 years old. Sorry, I started to do this when I was 20. I'm consistent when I'm 28. I just make simple comments like, hey, how's your day going? I like your glasses. You have a cool outfit. Regularly talking to everybody will make you more comfortable around women. And to go to nightlife venue at least once per week. Stay sober the entire time and talk to as many people as possible. It might feel uncomfortable being around drunk people, but if you drop any judgment, you'll enjoy yourself more. Drunk people don't care what others think. So you need to do the same. You'll need to come off more likable once you start getting loose while speaking. Right here is a perfect opportunity to drop a unique mechanism, for example. I call this the sober drunk method or something. Now, that's a stupid unique mechanism name. Don't get me wrong, but I'm onto something there. When I'm downtown and I'm sober drunk, like what the hell is sober drunk? Sounds like an oxymoron. It's like, no, it's like when I am in the drunk mood, I get all the benefits of being drunk. I'm more social. I'm less critical of myself, but I don't have to drink a drop of alcohol. Sounds awesome, right? Well, this is what you can develop if you do this enough. That's like new stuff. I've never heard anyone say that before. Whereas if you just get like a listicle, like these are good, this is value. But again, is it Googleable? Maybe. And there you have it. 3 life-changing habits. And there you have it is the most, I don't know, bro. I'm feeling ChatGPT on that. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is, but it feels like some ChatGPT. And there you have it. It feels like you're about to embark on some journey, bro. 3 life-changing habits that you can apply to life. Even though I don't have difficulties talking to women anymore, I still follow these habits because they help me feel more confident and also help you too. Rooting for you, Tim. P.S. If you want more tips, click here to follow Instagram. Say it's overall pretty good. Good, hits the marks. Could be great if you added engagement and some good storytelling. Single career-driven woman in their 30s and 40s looking to attract marriage-minded, masculine, high-value men. Subject line a little long, but very intriguing. I just saw into your future. I can't keep my eyes off you. I couldn't ask for better. Okay, sweet. It's a Saturday morning. You're waking up next to a man who makes you feel more cherished, heard, and adored more than you ever thought possible. There's no second guessing. No wondering if he's going to pull away. No fear of being too much or not enough. Damn, that's pretty crazy. Because like when you're too much as a girl, you're too clingy. And when you're not enough, it's like your value isn't high enough. There's some cool wordplay. Cool. It's not just the little moments where he reaches for your hand and looks at you like you're the only woman in the room. It's the way you feel safe with him. This is like romantic novel level shit. This is what they love though, dude. It's the way you feel safe with him. You don't have to lead, prove your worth, or quote unquote rescue him. I think something else that you could put in a future email, and this isn't even a suggestion or a critique, this is just an idea, is like the idea of Mr. Fixer-Upper. You know what I mean? When girls get with a guy and they're like, yeah, like he has these red flags, but I feel like I could fix him. Oh yeah. Bro, that's content right there. That's content right there. You just get to relax into your feminine. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what if he leaves me? But what if I get too attached? What if I'm not enough for the caliber of man I truly want? Let me be clear. The man you want is out there. Oh, they love that shit too. You know what expression I heard before? They say, what you won't do, another man will. But he can only find you when you stop hiding behind your fears. Because let's be real. This looks like a pretty big sentence I'm about to read. Interesting. The reason so many career-driven women like you struggle to find conscious, marriage-minded man is because you're used to overperforming and over-giving. Yeah, it's definitely a mouthful. I think that this could be optimized for sure. What I'm getting is possible copy compensation. Copy compensation is essentially when copywriters want to make their emails like really good, so they just add in like every single thing they can think of. Career-driven women, conscious, marriage-minded man, overperforming and undergiving. But there's a lot of descriptive words of what he's saying. So what I would say is cut the descriptive words and use them somewhere else, because they are really, really good descriptive words. I like marriage-minded men. I like conscious men. I like overperforming and overgiving. I like career-driven women. But pick and choose. And I would also cut it into 2 lines instead of one big one. But when you start to do the inner work and connect with your true feminine energy, everything changes. Sweet. You don't chase, force, or prey. You attract. Sweet. The passive men, they'll fade away because you'll be operating on a different frequency. I know what you mean by the passive men, but you might want to unpack this. Passive men, the one that want to go with the flow, those men that just want to see where it goes, that don't want anything serious or aren't really looking for anything right now, you leave them in the past. Oh yeah, they'll like that. They'll like that. Because guys, let's be honest. We hear girls say the same things every single time in certain dating scenarios. They hear us say the exact same things in certain dating scenarios all the time. I see it. It's very funny. But it's true. You can get really relatable with these as well. They'll fade away because you're operating on a different frequency. One that calls in a strong, grounded, masculine presence. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're going to eat that up. You deserve a love that allows you to fully relax into your feminine, and it's closer than you think. XO, Vanessa. The version of you that wakes up next to that man, she's just a few steps away. Let's get her there. Book a call and make it happen now. Sweet. It's good. I might consider, I don't know if you do it in other emails, consider adding actionables. This was kind of more of a pep talk email, and I get that, but even pep talks can have actionables. Oh, look at that. Man's got a link up here and everything. No BS dropshipper. DM course, and I'll send over my course for free. LOL. Okay. Oh yeah, also guys, if you're doing copy for a client, for example, you can go to their Instagram, you can go to the reels, sort by highest, and then boom, you know what all their highest performing hooks are. Use that in their emails. Like it's already done. And this one is like, I can already tell what this is. This is like we're drop shippers. And then I don't know what he's actually saying, but he's basically, he's telling you all the drop shipping stereotypes right here. So you use that in your emails. Analogies, you are stuck in inertia and you need to take action to get the ball moving. I hope you don't actually say inertia in this email, because I feel as though most people are not going to understand physics that well. I don't know. Is inertia something that the regular person would understand? Either way, you want to make it so simple a 5th grader would understand. Do you think a 10-year-old knows what inertia is? Centrifugal force? Or any of those? I don't feel like it. Let's check it out. Why your drop shipping hasn't taken off? Every drop shipper's worst nightmare. First name action steps. It's simple. I think this one's like horrible to them. Beginners hate action steps. You're leading with the unsexy. You want to lead with the sexy. How often do you see a drop shipper come on and he's like, guys, in order to do good at drop shipping, you have to work really hard. Like you're going to have some sleepless nights and you're going to have to take risks, and the margins are going to be razor thin. And you're going to have to work and grind. You're going to have all of these problems. But you know what? It's worth it. Never. What do they show you? Them riding around in a Lambo. I made $100,000 off this pen, guys. They only lead with sexy stuff. Hey, first name. Ever notice planes take forever to get moving? But once they are. But once they're in the air, it's considered one of the fastest transportation vehicles. I would cut considered. Ever notice how planes take forever to get moving? Okay. This could apply to your dropshipping journey. You know what else I would use? I would use the fact that rockets use 90% of their fuel during takeoff. That's the analogy that I've heard that I think would probably work better here. Because whenever I think of a plane, I don't really think of it like, oh man, this is taking forever to move. Like it kind of just rolls along and then you're just freaking blasted. So I don't think so. I don't feel like it's that relatable. I think like just telling them a fact might be a little bit more effective here, like the rocket fuel one. But suggestion, this could apply to your dropshipping journey. You might take forever to start seeing results, but once you start seeing them, those numbers will come in fast. I definitely wouldn't use forever here. So here's the thing. When it comes to dropshipping business opportunity, it's like the worst of the worst in a way, right? Like you're talking to people who like they want to do the least amount of work and make millions like for free. Like they want free money, right? In your marketing, most people are going to use that to their advantage. Now, obviously you want to keep it clean. What you don't want to do is discourage people. It's really easy to discourage people in any sort of business opportunity. You have to keep that in mind, especially in something like dropshipping. So I wouldn't say forever. I would say, this could apply to your dropshipping journey. It might take longer than you thought. That's what I would use, longer than you thought. If I say it would take forever, then again, they're going to think that hard work is involved. And most dropshipping kids don't think that any hard work is involved. They think, oh, I got to download this store template and I'll put my product up there and I'll make money. But once you start seeing them, those numbers will come in fast. Though there is a common trait among dropshippers who won't see any results, and that's a lack of discipline or intelligence. There's a common trait among dropshippers who won't see any results. So you're using multiple negatives here. It's really difficult to understand. Just say dropshippers who fail all lack one thing, for example, right? That way you're using affirmative language, meaning though there is a common trait among dropshippers who won't see any results. It's kind of like, I'll say this example again. When a cop points a gun at you, he's not going to say, don't run, because in your mind, it doesn't register as don't run. In your mind, first, it registers as run. What do they say instead? Freeze, stop, get down on the ground, drop your weapon. They wouldn't say, don't shoot me. Right, so you want to use affirmative language instead of saying won't see any results. Say dropshippers who fail or dropshippers who are unsuccessful. It's not a lack of discipline or intelligence. It's a lack of action. It's kind of a stale angle. It's like, this reminds me of, hey man, if you want to succeed, you're going to have to fail first. Failure is actually a part of succeeding. Like, how many times have we heard this before? People who are stuck researching products, analyzing trends, and waiting for the perfect moment will never see any results. Dropshippers who hit 10K per month the quickest always take action, risks, and learn from their mistakes. But it's not intelligent to take action aimlessly. Otherwise, you'll be expecting for the plane to start pressing those random buttons in the cockpit. You need a guide to show you a step-by-step process. And it just so happens you can learn from funnel dropshipping through this link. So it's up to you now. Will you continue to be disciplined and smart without taking any action, or will you join 8.5K members, replacing your 9 to 5 through funnel dropshipping? You know the correct answer. See you next time. The main thing here is the hardest parts of email copywriting is tying in the solution to your CTA. And right here, it's not really done very well because it's hard. It's difficult, right? It is one of the hardest parts. Once you figure it out, your emails are pretty much good. So you're basically saying, most dropshippers suck, but it's not because of discipline or intelligence. It's because they don't take action. Oh, but you don't want to take action aimlessly. So get this course. The obvious objection is why? Why should I care? Why should I be interested? Why don't I just look it up on YouTube? So instead, what would I do? Instead, I would sell the thing that sells the thing, right? Some unique mechanism stuff. You said learn funnel dropshipping. What is funnel dropshipping? In the email, forget selling me action. Sell me on why funnel dropshipping is better than normal dropshipping. I think it's pretty obvious why. I think I kind of explained it already. Because when you're like, yeah, man, you got to take action, but you got to know how to take action. So get the course. So I might make it like funnel dropshipping essentially creates a phenomenon where instead of just selling one person one product, people come in to buy one product, and while they're checking out, they just automatically purchase more products. And this increases your average revenue per customer. This is a way that you can start making money with dropshipping earlier, making more money, and also you can invest into your dropshipping store earlier on. It all works by, and then I tell a little bit more about it, I leave some intrigue, and then I'd say, if you want to learn it step by step, here's where you can go. The novelty effects stops scrollers. Okay. You know what? I don't know who I heard it from before, but I was looking at a reel and they were like, "Do you want to know some hooks that will stop people's thumbs in their tracks from scrolling?" It's just like that more specific. It's like people scroll with their thumbs. Like, what's the most thumb stopping scroller you have? Or thumb stopping hook? I thought it was an interesting way to describe it. The novelty effect stops scrollers. Let's check it out. This generation is full of scrollers. People with the attention span of a goldfish, scrolling on social media for hours, not knowing what they just watched. This isn't super clear what you mean. Like, I know what you're trying to say. I saw Iman Gaji say, "What did you watch 3 reels ago?" Maybe you watched maybe you don't even remember the last reel that you even watched. How many reels do you think you watch at a time? Maybe 20? Can you remember any of them? Probably not. So you're literally just there completely wasting your time. Like you're doing stuff that your mind might as well be off because you're not even remembering anything that you're doing. And this causes a huge problem for us creators because if people scroll past our content like drunk zombies, like they've been doing to others for the past hours, that's pretty funny. No one is going to engage with our content. Although the problem is that I like the GIF. Maybe I'll do a GIF masterclass on like how to best utilize GIFs. All right, I'm too zoomed in here. I like the GIF, but it's not really related. Yeah, I would try to relate it into the email somehow. I would give examples, but you guys probably already seen my examples 100 times. No one is going to engage with our content. And you know what that means, no sales / growth. So you're actually doing quite good so far. I quite like it. Quite good so far. Really personal and casual. We had some hiccups, but I gave you places to improve. So today I'm going to show you how to grab the scroller's attention by the throat and end the drunk zombie scrolling marathon. But first, you need to understand that attention grabbing is the most valuable skill in this era. No, you already told me why. Already said this. What you should do instead here is talk about what people tried usually and why it don't work. Talk about how you discovered your new method in like a little story, or like, I don't know, give interesting fact / statistic. All right, so I'll give you examples. So the beginning of the email is for telling me why attention is so important. You already told me why attention is the most valuable skill. So going back into it, not what you want. Instead, this is where you want to, for example, talk about what people usually try but don't work. But first, you need to understand that attention grabbing. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to grab the scroller's attention by the throat and end the drunk zombie scrolling marathon. And I know what everyone out there says. Bro, just go copy so-and-so's hook. The problem with copying other people's hooks is that the second time it's used, it's always going to be less effective than the first time it's used. Furthermore, do you want to sound like yourself, or do you want to sound like everyone else regurgitating content and being essentially a content creator human centipede? Is that what you want? I didn't think so. So what should you do instead? And then I give them the solution and give them a CTA to it. Furthermore, talk about how you discovered your new method. So I did what everyone else told me. I copied everyone else's content. I did this other thing. I used all the hashtags and the trending audios. And you know what I found? Nothing still worked. So one day I thought, you know what? Screw it. Nothing's working. I'm just going to throw the most random crap at the wall ever. And I didn't think it would work anyways, but I was at my wit's end. And crazily enough, I got my first 700,000 view video. And it was insane. I thought that I just got lucky like crazy. Like maybe it was just because I was posting consistently or the algorithm was rewarding me for trying all that other stuff. So I tried it again and it still worked. And then I used it on somebody else's profile and it still worked. And it was just insanity. And I call them action transition hooks. You know those videos that start, Alex Hormozy has used them in his hooks as well, or in his real hooks, where it's like a video of someone getting tackled and then the creator falls on the floor and it kind of like splices between them, that kind of thing. Those are an instant hit every single time you make them. It's almost crazy to me why people ever make content that doesn't start with a hook like that. So just by starting those hooks or making hooks like that is a really easy way that you can get started. Now, I'm going to warn you, this is currently a trend. It works really well right now. Will it work in 6 months or a year? I'm not sure. But what I do know is that if you understand the principles, you're going to be able to go viral forever. If you want to know more about the principles of going viral every single time, click here. Third possibility. Give an interesting fact / statistic. So today I'm going to show you how to grab the attention of scrollers by the throat. Did you know that on average, someone has to watch 7 hours of content on 3 different platforms before they decide to purchase from you? What does this even mean? This means that in order to get those sales or business growth that you're looking for out of content, it's not just enough to post willy-nilly. You have to post, grab people's attention, keep their attention, and also reward them to the point where they feel the feeling of reciprocity so much that they click that follow button and want to see more from you. There's a few ways that you're able to do that. I'll give you 3 right now. Then you maybe turn it into a little listicle and then you end it. So examples. If you grab the scroller's attention, you've basically won. Even if they don't invest in you, the fact that you grab their attention is a massive achievement in and of itself. So how do you grab the attention of scrollers? By the throat? Man, yeah, this cut that. Like that's the most unnecessary thing I've ever read, with all due respect. Well, if I were to put 1,000 green balls in a pool and place one bright red one at the top, what will happen? I'll tell you exactly what will happen. You will stare at that red ball with all your focus and not give a shit about those green balls. Those green balls are pieces of content that the viewer just scrolls past. And the bright red ball is the content that stops the viewer from scrolling. Look, first name, there's only one way to stop scrollers, and that's by using the novelty effect. Holy crap. Are we actually at the email now? This is where the email starts. Yeah, you should cut out the balls. I'm like 300 words in and I learned about attention and balls. Here are a few examples of the novelty effect in hooks. Want to make more? Stop talking. Here's why doing nothing is actually productive. Want to get more done? Work slower. This type of content is psychologically proven to hook the reader in because it's all contrary to their beliefs. This intrigues you. Try the novelty effect. Peace. So again, no real CTA. I don't know if I would call these novelty. Maybe. But I believe that novelty would be like something new. Here are some new outreach methods, or here's how you can get clients without using Instagram or email, right? That implies that something is brand new. People like novelty. That's what novelty means. You're kind of talking about like idea challenging or anti-angles, which also works. But also it's like, yeah, your structure needs a lot of help here because justifications are micro. So you spend a lot of time on balls, you spend a lot of time on the intro, you spend a lot of time up there, why attention grabbing is so important. And then the value is the smallest part of the email, and then you're like, peace. Whereas instead, you want most of the email to be about the value and the justification, none of the email to be about balls, and only a small amount of the email to be about why attention grabbing is so important. Here's the other thing, is I feel like some copywriters get some things really well, but then other things they kind of struggle with. So you have the writing part down really well, dude. Have writing down quite well. Work on structure and less balls. And I think your copy is going to get a lot better, my friend. Email for closers. Be a doctor, not a closer. I'm going to be honest, I already know what this email is about. Angle might be new to you, but it's not new. This angle got easily 100,000 miles on it. 300,000 kilometers. That's how much mileage this email got. This angle's been ran through. I'll just be 100%. I'll humor you and read it. Don't get me wrong. But angle, stale. Also, pick a closer guy then. Pick a closer prospect to specifically write about. Hey, first name, here, take this. Not to start diagnosing your leads with your imaginary degree, but to actually start listening to them. After closing 8.5 mil in 24 months, the number one mistake I see is not caring about your lead's problem. You see, first name, if I had a problem with my knee and went to see a doctor and the first doctor said to me, I think the beginning is waffly. I think the man's waffling on just a little bit. Here, take this, not to start your diagnosing your clients with an imaginary degree, but to actually start listening to them. After closing 8.5 mil in 24 months, the number one mistake I see is not caring about your lead's problem. You see, if I were you and you were me, what I would do is cut first 2 lines, right? Because I get it. I get that you're being engaging, but the difference here is that I would rather you be engaging right here, right? Because it's like the first couple lines, like you can't lose people. If you're like, here, take this, not to start diagnosing your leads with an imaginary degree, that's like a mouthful, but to actually start listening to them. What does that mean? I don't really know. I would start like this. After closing 8.5 million in 24 months, the number one mistake I see about your leads problem is the number one mistake I see is not caring about your leads problems. And then right here, I would do like, and I get it. And no, I don't mean, so for example, and no, I don't mean that you should give your leads a 30-minute therapy session on the sales call. What I actually mean is go into it. Or, and I get it, right? You don't have all day to sit there and listen to your leads just vent to you all day. But, and then I would go, but think of it this way. You see, if I had a problem with my knee and went to a doctor and the first doctor said to me, oh, you have knee pain, here's a pill to help with that, but the second doctor decides to do this instead, how long have you had your pain? Is it the bone or the muscle? Has it affected your lifestyle? Which doctor would you trust? So, okay, this is actually a really good example. Good example of a better way to give an explanation. So your explanation makes sense, right? The explanation is good and it works. I know what you're trying to say. The problem is that you could say it better. And this is a skill. This is a skill within skills. This is like when you write a tweet. How many characters is a tweet? Can you guys remind me? When you write a tweet and it's like maximum length and then you change it and optimize it so that it means the exact same thing, but it's half the length. 140, that's what I thought. So you make it from like 140 characters and then you start to go over a little bit. You're like, shoot, I got to go under. And then you like scrunch it down into 70. Like that's kind of what you want to do here. Like right now, this is like a 140 character tweet. Let's just say this. If you had a problem with your knee, which doctor would you trust most? Dr. A, here's a pill, or Dr. B? How long have you had the pain? Is it in the bone or muscle? And how does it affect your lifestyle? I don't know about you, but me, myself, I would choose the doctor that was actually asking questions into my situation, which I believe is more concise than if I had a problem with my knee and went to go see a doctor and the first doctor said to me, oh, you have knee pain, here's a pill that will help with that. But the second doctor decides to do this instead. How long have you had the pain? Is it in the bone or the muscle? Has it affected your lifestyle? Which doctor would you trust? So first name, don't try to rush the sale, but understand the situation your lead is in. Ask them the right questions that will ultimately bring them the medicine, the product. And the exact same approach I teach my students in the CDP Elite. You do give advice, but it could be more actionable. Give some examples. Imagine Tyson 4D free value was no longer Tyson 4D free value. Now it's Tyson 4D paywall. And I say, look, man, I got this course, 30-minute course, $10,000. You might think, damn, if it carries a $10,000 price tag, it must be really good. I wonder what this is. You bought it and I said, hey bro, you want to know how to close more sales with your copywriting clients? You got to ask better questions. You got to ask questions and dig deeper into their problems. See you guys next time. Who here would feel happy about that 10 grand purchase? That's the mindset that you go into every piece of content with. What if somebody paid me 10 grand for this email? Would I just say, here's the line that you can use, right? So the next time when you're on a sales call, use these 3 lines. Now look, this is just one part of the sales call process. Once you understand their problems, you have to understand how to create your product as the solution. This is called the product solution loop. And this is exactly what I teach my students inside of CDP Elite. This is what so many people get wrong with copywriting. They're just one level shy, one level of value shy. Because here's the thing. If I open this email, it's not yet going to really inspire me to open all of your emails. Think of it like this. People watch the Alex Hormozi school ads. You guys have seen them before. And while everybody is mostly saying like, nice try, Diddy in the comments, don't know what that's about, but that's what most of the comments are. I've seen this commented on one of Alex Hormozi's videos. Getting an ad from Alex Hormozi and also watching Alex Hormozi at the same time, this like, my life is complete. They just love to do nothing but watch him, even his ads. Why? Because his ads make you laugh. They're funny and they're fun to watch, right? Which is what your email should be. Your email should be enjoyable and just also have a link there at the bottom. I've said this before, but it's kind of like each email should be like an Apple store. The Apple store is cool. You get to go in, try on the little goggle things. What are they called? Apple Vision Glass Pro or something. You get to see the brand new phones. Ooh, look, it's got a new little button. Look at that. Ooh, this one's got 14 cameras on the back. Wow, look at these iPads. Look at this little Apple Watch. And you have no intention of buying anything, but because you're there, something catches your eye. Oh, shoot, what's that? Oh, they'll have those Apple headphones. You know what? my headphones did break the other day. I could use a different pair. And then even if you say yes or say later, they got you because it's the power of proximity. So my point is that your emails should be worth money. Like this is how you go into everything. When I create, like you guys have all watched the free 4-hour course, the free 8-hour course. Those things could be sold easy. People will be like, damn, this is worth at least hundreds. That's how you have to go into thinking about things. So good. Give a little bit more value. Let me check out your CTA. It has allowed 300% of my pupils. I might avoid that language unless it's super on brand. But imagine if I was like, yo, what's up? Alfred, my pupil. What up, George? George is one of my pupils. That makes it sound like I'm little boying you. And I don't think people would really like that. No. That reminds me of people in Hustle University or his whatever high ticket $5,000 one. War Room. Calling him like Lord Tate and shit. Like this is a little strange. Without consuming hours of content, having to be extroverts, needing to handle constant objections. I don't think this is what sales reps actually want. You might want to do a little more research. Sales reps, when they get on a call, they're not like to close deals without consuming hours of content, having to be extroverts or need to handle constant objections. It's more like if you're talking about closing deals without, I picture like me being on a sales call and me being able to avoid things. That's allowed 300 of my pupils. Actually, you know what I would change is this: close deals. I would say it would allow 300 plus of my pupils to become great salespeople without, that's what I would say, become successful. And then the rest of it works. Yeah. I think that's a lot better. Jesus cold outreach method. Subject line, 2,000-year-old cold outreach lesson, the Jesus Christ method. I've heard like 2,000-year-old something before. Where did I actually say that lately? Oh yeah, it's actually in a reel, but you guys didn't even see it yet. But I made a reel reacting to Sabri Subri saying that there's this 2,000-year-old marketing strategy that everyone uses. And it was actually like stories, right? So for the last 2,000 years, our brains have developed to love and intake information best in story format. Jesus Christ was one of the greatest marketers in history. That's pretty fire. Damn. Lord, forgive this man, for he knows not what he does. This man cooketh. In a world with no social media, email marketing, or paid ads, he managed to create a hugely successful following that's lasted 2,000 years. Here's how his strategy worked, name. Jesus didn't just walk up to people and say, "Believe in me, I say so." He performed miracles, fed thousands, and turned water into wine. He showed people his value before asking them for anything in return. That's it. So when it comes to your B2B cold outreach, your B2B outreach, providing upfront value always wins. Whether it's a free strategy, breakdown, Loom video, or product mock-up, give something before asking for their time and money. I'll be honest. That way, prospects are far more likely to do business with you because they know that you're serious, hardworking, and intelligent, way before even getting on a call with you. Forget the cookie cutter outreach templates that come and go. Look for the principles that have lasted thousands of years. Your brother in arms. Sign out. Sweet. Prospect. Oh, look, a link. Beautiful. Broke to millionaire at 18. I helped 9-to-5ers earn an extra $5K per month from YouTube without recording or editing videos. Jesus, I hate that offer. I hate this offer. Even though, actually, I'm going to change my language because I don't even like saying hate. But I do literally strongly dislike this offer because, bro, it's like the most attractive, least viable way to make money. All you have to do is create a YouTube channel. You don't have to record any videos. You just have other people do it. Boom, 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 done, done, done. My first YouTube channel was when I was 13 years old. This is like 12 years ago. You could upload just a random video of anything and it would get like 100 to 300 views all the time, no matter what. And if you guys were there, you know, right? The same with Instagram. If you just uploaded whatever, a picture of the damn wall, you're getting like 5 likes or 10 likes, especially if you had the right hashtags under there. Like my last channel before Tyson 4D, I was doing an investing thing. I tried to be like an investing channel, right? I was really into crypto back then too, investing in stocks and money. And I wanted to be like a finance YouTuber. I wanted to be like the old guy millionaire dude or those guys of that era, right? Talk about income streams and passive income and shit. I really, really wanted to do that. So I uploaded a good 10 videos that were actually really good, right? I bought a camera, a couple $100. I did the editing, right? Everything. And I'm talking like 3 to 11 views no matter what. And this was still a good 5 years ago. Can you imagine how difficult it is now to just make YouTube videos? Even if it's about a trending topic, bro, how many people you think out here have way more experience, way better videos? Of course it's possible, but damn, it's just gonna be difficult. And these guys, bro, they make tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of money off of their offers because it just sounds so good. Like, so you're telling me all I have to do is create ChatGPT videos and then have an AI read out the script and then have AI come up with the visuals and then just upload it? And then I just make money. Goal of the email is to get the reader to click the link and redirect them to the sales. Consistency will sink your business. The dark side of daily uploads. That's sick. I like this. This is a good anti-angle. Good job, Radu. Hey, first name. Many believe that growing a faceless YouTube business requires consistent uploads, when in reality, this might be the thing that makes them chase their tail. True, but there's a caveat. Let me look at this guy's content real quick. Yeah. Here's the thing. This guy, you're seeing right here, is very, very, very different from somebody like this guy. And I'll tell you how, right? And again, there's no wrong or right or better or worse way. This is just a different type of business. So take this guy, for example. He makes videos for people to show them what YouTube automation is. When people want to learn more about YouTube automation, they click on this case study. They have to put in their email to even see the case study, and then they're on their email list. The reason why that is important is because he doesn't make content for people who are doing YouTube automation. He makes content for people who want to make money. So when they opt in, they have no YouTube videos. They have no YouTube videos or no YouTube channel. So saying something like this, problem is they don't have a channel yet. While this might work in other places, I think the angle is a little bit off. And this is another reason, guys, why sending in your prospect is so important. Because if you wrote this angle for him and it's for people, and I know because I'm speaking from experience. I once wrote for a dude who did Instagram theme pages. You guys heard of those? Instagram theme pages. And he's like, I'll show you how to make a theme page. I created a email that was like a listicle. Here are 3 ways to create to improve your Instagram theme page. He was like, no. The people who know this stuff don't have an Instagram theme page. They want to get started, so they buy the programs to start. Me personally, that's not even the type of business I want to be in. But that's what some people do. So if you're going to write for them, you have to keep that in mind. When in reality, this might be the thing that makes them chase their tail. So before I tell you how to actually grow your faceless YouTube business, you need to understand one thing. So here's the thing. Email should probably selling the idea that YT automation is the way. So example, subject line, YouTube and dropshipping had a baby. I don't know how I would make that angle work. Maybe I'd say something like, the good thing about dropshipping is that it's growing every single day. More and more people are buying online products than ever. And it's projected by 2030 that it's going to be a $25 billion industry, just like YouTube. But unlike dropshipping, creating a faceless YouTube channel doesn't take any money to start up front. You don't have to deal with any complicated stores, and it's as simple as ever. In fact, you can get AI to do 99% of the heavy lifting for you. That's exactly what I teach in my whatever high ticket program. That's usually how these emails go. So let me hop in. Consistency can sink your business. Now, you've probably heard consistency is the key to building a 6-figure business, just like the key to building a razor sharp physique. And that's right. But what if instead of going to the gym and work out every day, you show up to the gym only to do the warm up and then leave? You'd still be consistent, but you think you'll see the same results as if you had worked out. So this is honestly a really great prep talk email. Seems off brand from what I saw from dude's IG, because success is in the details. It's the same with faceless YouTube channels. You can't just show up every day and post random videos, hope they'll make you a millionaire, because chances are it won't happen. You need a proven to work plan to get the best possible results. And if you don't know how to craft your own effective approach, it's your lucky day. I've just recorded a training with a 5-step system I use to start earning a doctor's salary. And if you want to copy, paste it, start making serious money with faceless YouTube channels, click here to watch the training for free. Yeah, dude, it's literally step 1, watch this video. Step 2, apply to work with me, which again is fine. But yeah, so it's not really for people. The angle one, you'd want it to be a little bit different, right? Tell me why YouTube automation is so great. Tell me why it's so good. Tell me why it's the next big thing. Tell me why it's the best opportunity ever. And if you want to learn it, go here. Come up with some unique mechanisms on how your YouTube automation thing works. Unique mechanisms on why other YouTube automators don't do very well. Things like that. Those stones of the competition. Those are kind of the angles that you want to come from. The email is actually quite good, but it's a good thing that you actually send this in, because it's a really good example. Name, why are you lying? Yes, you read the subject line, right? I'll be honest, bro, I don't think so. Nah. The reason I mention that is because essentially your subject and preview should work, they should complement each other. Whereas what a lot of people do, so this, for example, when you make the title, what is copywriting? And then the thumbnail, what is copywriting? It's just saying the same thing over. And this is fine. This video got a lot of views, so it's not the end of the world. But what you can do, especially with subject line and previews, is you want them to complement each other. You want them to work off of each other. Like this one. I tried Andrew Tate's copywriting course for 30 days. And on the left, you see a big number, right? So you're thinking, those actually go off of each other. So they're two different things. You would want to watch the video for one reason when you read the title, want to watch the video for a different reason when you see the thumbnail. So you're going to be more intrigued. Also, this one, you read that right. It's kind of like, you might as well just not put anything there. I'll be direct with you. You need to stop lying to yourself. The only thing holding you back from success is the story you're telling yourself. This always happens to me. I don't know what it takes. I don't have enough time. Sound familiar? That's all the lies that keep you stuck. And until you rewrite them, they'll keep building walls between you and the life you want to have. Okay, but it doesn't have to be this way. After almost 30 years of helping people transform lives, I've uncovered 3 simple steps to break free from the lies. So there's a few main points here. So main things you can improve. Number 1 is generic. I could be listening to Bedros Keuilian. I could be listening to Andrew Tate. I could be listening to Tristan Tate. I could be listening to Tyson 4D, but basically any male self-improvement guy. And the reason why it's giving generic is essentially because you could put something way more personal, some sort of cost narration. So for example, even Andrew Tate does this. So Andrew Tate says the same stuff as everybody else, and everybody else says the same stuff as Andrew, except Andrew can say, I was wrongfully imprisoned for 9 months in a Romanian jail cell with cockroaches all over me while I was sleeping, and I was still able to keep my cool, and I never once broke. That would break most men and they would break down crying, but not me because I'm strong. Now I know who the email's for. I'm like, whoa, this is more personal. This guy actually been through some stuff. He's not just some dude who's hanging out in his mama's basement talking about discipline. So give something a little bit more personal. Also with these, they're all right, but they could be insanely relatable. I'll tell you a copywriting principle, new copywriting principle drop alert that I thought about. It's like you want to make it so personal that it can't be falsified, even when you're talking about relatable points. I'll give you an example. Example number 1, the one that's just kind of relatable. It's really hard to stick to a diet, and usually you end up cheating on it anyways. It's like, okay, a lot of people can relate to that, right? The rule of hyperspecificity is like you were good all day. You stayed under your calories and you're feeling heroic. You even went on a little hike today. What's the harm in rewarding yourself with one little bite of ice cream? You go to the freezer, you take out that chocolate chunk ice cream or that Neapolitan, you take out a spoon, you take one bite, and it's so good that you just take another. And the next thing you know, you're elbow deep in some ice cream and it's all gone. So this is saying the exact same thing, except you're so specific that it just makes it a lot more relatable. You guys ever heard someone say something and when they say it, it's so relatable, you're like, damn, he got me right there. That's so damn true. That's what good marketing feels like. Sound familiar? That's all lies keeping you stuck, right? Pause and observe your thoughts. Write them down if you can. What are your thoughts really saying? Be specific. Ask yourself, is this true? When you realize if you're critically thinking about your thoughts, half the things you're thinking aren't even remotely true. Your brain is just stuck on autopilot, writing an old script. Flip the narrative. If you thought, I'm not good enough, reframe it to, I might not have it all figured out yet, but I can take the first step. This is the first shift in allowing everything to change for you. Now, I know that's all easier said than done, but if you're not where you want to be, something needs to change. Right now, there's a massive opportunity in the knowledge industry. Thousands every day, people have turned what they know into income in 14 days or less. How? You might ask yourself, by following the brand new mastermind business system. Check it out here and try it for free. Right. Dan. I'm glad that you sent this in. This is why I like you guys sending in copy that's actually challenging. Yeah, it's right here. This is a huge jump, bro. I'll be honest. And the reason why this is a huge jump and why it's going to be a really difficult jump is because they're so different. See, up here has nothing to do with an industry knowledge. So you have a few options. What you could do is mention something more specific to your CTA earlier on. That way it doesn't feel like it came out of nowhere. Imagine you're watching like a horror movie or you're watching like the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight, and then all of a sudden it just cuts to like Barney or something. So you can add some elements of what you're talking about earlier on, and then also give some more intrigue around this. Imagine if there was an ad and he was like, hey guys, I've made money before online and I know how to make money. If you want to learn more, click the link down below. What do you mean? Who are you? You have too many questions. So it's a balance between what they know and what they want to know. It's about creating tension, right? So the tension would be, oh, I found a new way to make money. It works by doing drop shipping just like everybody else, except it's branded drop shipping. If you want to know what branded drop shipping is, essentially it's when you build your own brand and you don't focus on building or on selling cheap products from China. This way you don't have to deal with any of the cons of dropshipping, and you can actually start for free. I actually have a 3-step system that I'll show you for free on how you can get started. So I'd put like really good details in there and some more actual tension. So what I would do as well is just leave some hints and intrigue. That way it's more curiosity building. It's like, imagine if I told you guys, or I sent out an email, hey guys, I have a new outreach method that really works. Click here to watch it. You'd be like, I don't know, maybe it's that Instagram one that I already heard him say, or that email one, right? But if I was like, I came up with this new outreach method, it doesn't use Instagram, email, Facebook, Upwork, doesn't use Fiverr, doesn't use Tinder, doesn't use Bumble, doesn't use any of that. Like, what is it? And it actually works in a completely different way. And I've actually used it to get 3 clients just last month. If you want to know what it is, click here. Then that's like, oh, damn, I wonder what it is. Now you have so much more intrigue. You want to go like one level deeper before the CTA. So you could do a few things. So right here, you go, something needs to change, and you could end off with an action or one last tweetable piece of value. So what I mean by tweetable is like after someone finishes a lesson and then they say, I'd rather know exactly why I failed than to succeed and not know how, right? Maybe that's the lesson or whatever, right? Whatever the last lesson is, you could put it there and be like, Dean Graziosi, PS, and then you could add in the rest, right? But like I've been saying, right, PS is kind of like a cheap way to do it. You can do it like that just fine, but the best emails are the ones that sell you on the stuff behind why they should click, right? So what else you could do is you see up here where you're talking about this, you could talk more about what Dean Graz has done. He's like one of the ancient digital marketers that's been with like Russell Brunson and all those other guys. He's made millions of dollars. He knows a bunch of millionaires and billionaires. There's definitely some like actual cost narration that you could put there that would also just make it more relevant, right? So I've shown hundreds of thousands of people how to build incomes online. And the number one thing that I notice is that they say these things, right? That way you're kind of setting it up for the end. Strong AF method, coaching program for women. Burn 20 pounds like good lipstick. Why women love the strong AF method. The fat loss strategies inside are exactly like perfect red lipstick. There are 2 simple reasons why. 1, it sticks. The strong AF method gives you the tools to feel confident and control, right? So this is a promo email. So what we will do, it's a little bit abrupt. Even for promo, it's a little bit abrupt. It's like a dude DMs a girl and he's like, hey, take your top off. What I might do is open up and even give a very small belief shift. Let me read it and then I'll give you what I might put in the intro. The fat loss strategies inside are exactly like perfect red lipstick. There are 2 simple reasons why. 1, it sticks. Okay, I like that. I like the analogy. Strong AF method gives you the tools to feel confident, in control, and be able to stick to a fat burning routine. Okay, so I got one. 1, talk about relatable problems. That's one way. So if you're somebody who, and then what are like the really, really, really top relatable things, right? And remember, like go deep on them. Make it like ultra specificity. The analogy that I've heard before is name the dog, right? So if you're talking about like a dog or there's a pet in your story, you would want to name it, describe it, and really make it as true as possible because that's what it does. I made this analogy before, but it's like if someone said, how was your workout? And you're like, good. Like, what did you do at the gym? Arms. It's like, okay, cool. But if they were like, what did you do at the gym? He said, oh man, I was doing arms today. And when I was doing my overhead tricep extensions, man, my elbow was click. And bro, it was crazy. Then I went over and did some bicep curls and there was this guy beside me. And it's like all of a sudden it's so fleshed out that now it's like feels really true. Not to mention when you get really deep into people's relatable points, it's the whole doctor thing, right? If the doctor can guess exactly what's going on with you, then you're going to trust them more with the solution. It sticks, the strong AF method, tools to feel confident and control, and be able to stick to a fat burning routine, just like your favorite lipstick sticks through meetings, coffee, dates, and everything between. Kind of going too much on the lipstick. Kind of feels like you're selling the lipstick now, not the actual fat burning stuff. And also, did you link at the top? No link at the top is crazy. Leave link to prospect at top so we can see. 2, confidence in action. You know that feeling when you swipe on the perfect red lipstick? Bold, empowering, unstoppable. Picture the same confidence washing over you once you know exactly what to do to get the best results in record time. Here's what it looks like. You know what choices to make in the kitchen, which workouts for your goals, and how to smack those late night cravings right in the face. Unstoppable like the moment the bold lipstick looks in place. I guess it's a strange way to compare things, but if you want the best of both worlds, an empowering nature of lipstick and strong AF method to go hand in hand, reply with lipstick to get more info on our Black Friday offer for our one-to-one coaching. Speak soon. Love M, no BS. P.S. Yesterday, we opened a special offer, 5 women, high demand, which is only possible because our coaches decided to extend their working hours. So act now before last spots are taken. Great. I'm glad that you sent this in. Because I'll put the main critiques at the bottom. There's definitely some work to do here, my man. This sells the benefits and not enough of the UM, or doesn't sell the thing that sells the thing. Let's think about business. As a business owner, your big problem is that there's more content out there than ever and more people are skeptical than ever. Chances are, whoever your ideal audience is has already been burned by other people's offers before in the past. So you have to build enough trust with them in order to get them over that hump. So how do you get people to trust you in the shortest amount of time possible? I call it free YouTube courses. That's a terrible unique mechanism name, but you get the idea. Once you start using free YouTube courses and long form trainings and also playlists so that you have a binge worthy YouTube channel, all of a sudden you're going to start building trust with people in a matter of 1 to 2 days instead of them having to see your ads all the time and wasting money on ad spend. This is called the organic marketing funnel. And if you want to learn how to do it, then I have this new product called the Black Friday lipstick. You get it? So essentially what I'm doing is I'm selling the thing that's selling the thing. Nowhere in this email did I read, correct me if I'm mistaken, why it actually works, right? You're just saying it helps you stick and it gives you confidence. It's like, yeah, but how? I've actually made an email about fitness not too long ago, talking about how to hack your hunger hormones, right? You guys have definitely all read that before. But I came up with an email where instead of just being like, yeah, man, this new diet really, really works. This guy lost 50 pounds. This person lost 30 pounds. Because here's the other thing, is that anybody can say that. So it comes down to creating copy that can't be copied and stating the facts and telling the truth. So why does it work? Why is it different than any other fat loss product out there? Those are the main things. Other than that, yeah, it's a little bit analogy heavy, but overall the writing's fine. You're on track with that. Just like the last guy, I forgot to mention Andre, right? Sometimes like when I'm reviewing pickle copy, it's like the word choice isn't there, the flow isn't there. This is fine, but yeah, you just have a little longer to go. Script format, what women actually find attractive, thumbnail idea, sweet. So this is a YouTube script. I'll read the hook since that's the most important part. One of the most common mistakes guys make when trying to attract a woman is suffering from what I call attraction myopia. They focus too much on what they think women find attractive instead of understanding attraction from a woman's perspective. It's like looking at a beautiful landscape through a keyhole. You'll never get a bigger picture if you don't change the lens through which you view attraction. Okay. It's no secret that for the most part, men prefer a partner with objectively feminine traits and an hourglass-shaped figure. But when it comes to women, their preferences are so varied that if you try to approach them while suffering from attraction myopia, you can be certain they'll reject you in a heartbeat. After all, how is it that some women are into 6'4" blonde quarterbacks while others fall for a guy who looks like he could get a concussion from a breeze and spends this weekend at AnimeCon? Let me see what your comments are over here. Perplexing question, subtle joke, right? So my initial thoughts are you could add some cost narration in here. So for example, Benjamin Seda, right? We all know him. He's like the base Zeus guy. He, at the beginning of his videos, would be like, I approached 1,000 girls in Miami and this is what I found. And then he actually has this series on his YouTube channel where he approaches 1,000 girls in Miami. And then essentially it's like a feedback loop. So he says that, and he said, I recorded myself approaching 1,000 girls in Miami, and it's on this very channel. And in this video, XYZ. So now you're getting two birds with one stone. YouTube is a little bit different of a beast than copywriting. With YouTube, you have to think of, obviously, how do I make this the best video possible, but also how do I keep people on my channel, right? The goals on YouTube are just a little bit different. So you'll notice in some of my YouTube videos, I say things like I purposely bring up my Instagram every once in a while. I purposely bring up my X/Twitter every once in a while. I'll say, yeah, somebody asked me on Instagram, blah, blah, blah. By the way, Instagram at Tyson Scales. And I might leave like a link there at the top. So one thing you could do, cost narration. Another thing you could do, mention playlists or other videos that you've done. This is just a suggestion, not something that you have to do. Suggestion if possible. Also with this, I'm not sure that this is right. Friction. Do some girls fall for dudes that could get a concussion from a breeze and spends his weekends at AnimeCon? Genuinely asking, I'm not sure. Get a concussion from a breeze. I do understand what you're saying, but it takes me some just a little bit of mental energy to picture that or actually get it. I'd say you might want to consider reworking this until it's something even better. If you hopped into ChatGPT, you might be able to get some even more better stuff, but it kind of feels contrived. The thing with analogies and anything witty in general is that if you're not like 1,000% that everybody's gonna get it, it might not be super worth it. So in this video, we're gonna go over what women really find attractive and how you can use this to your advantage to grab attention of women you're interested in. Whether it's your crush, fling, or long-term partner, that's pretty good. And if you watch until the end, I'll share with the number one word that makes women beg to see you after the first date. So what I would do, this is really a good example of what you could definitely do. What would absolutely kill here, not statements. It's like, what do guys really think that girls want? They want a guy that's tall, or that's funny, that's smart, a guy that gives them flowers, or a guy that a lot of guys also think you should treat girls like assholes. No, you shouldn't get them flowers or treat them like assholes. How about you just be a normal human being or somewhere in the middle? Or you can pick, I like what you did with the unique mechanism, but also you could create more. So you have the nice guys, then you have the contrived jerks who think that being a jerk is going to get them girls, but really they're just actually being a dickhead. And then you have the dudes who are actually, I know a unique mechanism I've heard for it before is cocky funny, but a guy who's like cocky, but in a funny way. Not like I like to hang out and look at myself in the mirror for like 20 minutes each time, but more like, I don't know. They'll just say something like a witty joke that makes themselves seem cocky and confident. So things like this, right? So actually call out, because here's the thing. A lot of people going into this are going to think that they already know what the video is going to be about, which is the kind of like issue. If you look at YouTube analytics, 50, 40, 30% of people drop off after 30 seconds. And that's because the beginning of the video doesn't really confirm what they opened the video for. People use YouTube as a distraction device, right? You have to realize this. So it's like people are going on there wanting to be distracted. You have to give them some like TikTok brain super hook in order to get them to watch the rest, which is not actually as difficult as it sounds. You just have to be like very, very intentional and really, really tease the value inside. So you talk about, right, most common mistake guys make. Yeah, how do you know? That's the other thing. I would put like the cost narration here. How you know? And after enough videos, like here's the other thing. As a copywriter, you need to know how to contrive these sorts of things. Cost narration is simply just perceived value. Copywriters are just wizards at perceived value, period. That's what you could just call a copywriter. They know how to create perceived value. They know how to increase perceived value. So tell me how you know this information, how effective it can be, why you know it. You're giving the unique mechanism. I like your unique mechanism, actually. And then men prefer, but when it comes to women, their opinions are so varied. Right. They can sit me. Right. So in this video, we'll be going over what women really find attractive and how you can use this to your advantage to grab the attention of the women you're interested in. And if you watch till the end, I'll share with you the number one word that makes women beg to see you again after the first date, even if you've never been on one. This is pretty good because this is a good tactic. Actually, the tactic is a tactic. Essentially what you do is promise super easy templatized tactic. Now, the templatized, everybody knows that templates don't work, just like pickup lines don't work because they're just contrived. They're lame. If everyone was using the same template or the same pickup line, it wouldn't work anymore. So, right, when you promise these things, essentially you give them an example at the end and you make it sound like it's this easy one-word thing, but it's really more, there's more minutia around it, right? There's more to the topic, but it's definitely a good thing to promise. So, and that's another thing that a lot of YouTubers do. Let's get into it. Overall, I think you're at a good start. YouTube writing is a lot different, so you're going to need definitely more practice, but you are definitely at a right start. This stuff that you have here could be used for sure, but I think those tweaks could help it perform better. Practice copy. All right. I forgot the prospect who mentioned this idea, but basically based on this Ty Lopez IG reel.
We'll do these ads where it's like super viral, someone falling, and then it cuts to somebody talking about, oh, you'll fall in love with my product or something like that. I've tested that. I'm not sure. You get high click-through rate, but I haven't seen the lift in money. So I bet you that's not doing that well. Now, if you just want a lot of views for bragging rights, that's a great way. But one of the things, my buddy, I have a
All right, I'm pretty sure I know where this angle is going, but this is a really good angle. Let me explain it to you guys. Most business owners fall victim to vanity metrics. Guilty, man. I'm guilty too. Essentially chasing views instead of chasing cash. So a lot of people go at social media as if they were an influencer or a social media person with a business. But how you should do it, if business is your number one priority, is have a business that uses your social media as well. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. Alex Hormozy just a couple weeks ago talked about how he was doing this exact same thing. So he would go really wide with his content. Motherfucker was posting content about like cooking and his relationship and like, I'm going to show you how to build a business from scratch. And it was all cool. It got a lot of views, but his actual ideal avatar was not watching it. I didn't watch any of it. Technically, I'm his ideal avatar. I kind of fit in it because he's looking for people who do over $1 million a year and all these other qualifications. It was true. I didn't watch any of those videos because I thought that they were crap. Like they're good videos, but they're definitely not for me. There was like music and there was like editing and it was like TikTok brain rot and I did not want it. I would rather just sit down, chill and listen to like a podcast business type of style stuff. And so would his ideal prospects. So he went and changed his content. Absolutely did a full 180, basically no editing, talking about like cost per acquisition, lifetime gross profit, lifetime value, actual business terms, breaking out the whiteboard, just drawing on it. Very, very boring business style videos. And they're doing a lot better for him business wise, but worse for him views wise. Alex Hormozy is bad at posting content. How viral hooks cost you money. Sick. Alex Hormozy is bad at posting content. How viral hooks cost you money. Hey, name, hold on. Why is it someone who has 10 times fewer followers than Alex Hormozy and probably 10 times fewer zeros in their bank account, LOL, is saying not to post videos like him? It's because of this one mistake you make when using attention-grabbing hooks. Yeah, it's a little bit fat. It's a little fat. It's a little thick. Be more lean. I get that this is like, witty as well, but you can't mess around in the intro. Because when you really read this, it's like these 3 lines are supposed to be the same sentence, and this one's just kind of like in there, and you're supposed to, it almost feels like you're juggling. Like, sorry, idea number 1, idea number like 1.5, back to idea number 1, idea number 2. So it's kind of like it takes a little bit of mental capacity to read it. Right? You want people to read it really easily. Why is someone who has 10 times fewer followers than Alex? You could just say 10 times fewer followers and dollars than Alex Hormozy, saying you shouldn't post videos like him. It's because of this one mistake I thought I might put probably make as well, instead of being like super presumptuous, or probably, or 99% of people make. Now, first name, you will get a lot of eyeballs, and if that's your goal, eyeballs what? Posting like Alex, right? So say that. Like the thing is, think of it like this. You want it so that if your prospect, no matter what, if your prospect read from any sentence, the beginning of any sentence, it would make sense. So if I began right here, now first name, you will get a lot of eyeballs. And if that's your goal, be my guest. Like, what do you mean I'll get a lot of eyeballs? Right? It doesn't make sense. But do you not want to send more Stripe links to your leads? I'll be honest, bro. Hell no. Now, I know what you tried to do. You tried to do the ultra specificity, which is good, but execution, not so much. You want to send more Stripe links to your leads. No, I want more leads to buy. Maybe it's like you want to increase your revenue so you get those sexy Stripe screenshots, right? That's what you mean. But this way, it just sounds confusing, right? Like, and nobody actually wants to send more Stripe links. They want more people to pay. Anyways, if so, then you're going to have to start posting congruent content rather than posting for clout. Hell nah. Let me explain. We all know the first 3 seconds of a video is make or break to sustaining retention. Yeah. So you definitely want to bring the reading level down, and you want to bring the wordiness down, right? Those are the big things that could really, really help you. And so it becomes easy to fall into the trap of exploiting viral clips. However, this will only assist you in increasing your click-through rate rather than making sales. You can get 1 trillion views on a YouTube video, but if there's no linear pattern to your content, who will resonate with it? 5th grade reading level. Who will trust you enough to buy from you? So to have congruency, actually post content that interests your audience, not a general group who have no idea what you go on and have to say. Yeah, not that one either. After realizing the importance of congruency in your brand, you may beg the question. You wouldn't say you may beg the question. You would say, it begs the question. Not sure who this was, but back to the drawing board, my friend. How else should I grab attention? What makes purposeful content my target avatar? How do I make some sales through my content? There are all important questions to consider for your posts. And that's why I created a video on how to convert more through social media. Check it out here. Peace. Yeah, like usual, I have a very common critique here, which is go one level deeper on value. So I'll put it this way. I just told you guys I hired Ravi Abuvala, right? Here's exactly what he says, like to a T. Like he talks about this exact same thing. He says something about same idea, right? You're either chasing views or you're chasing money. But what you should be doing is chasing views from your ideal avatar. Let me ask you a question. If you are a phone salesman and you post a video that goes viral about pens, how many sales do you think you're going to make from that viral video? None. However, if you're a phone salesman and then you make a video about which one of these phones is better, the iPhone 15 or the iPhone 16, and that video just gets half as many views, you're going to get way, way, way more buyers. Now, the next logical question is, well, how do I implement this into my content plan? Well, it's called the copy blueprint. The copy blueprint is essentially a whole document which is filled out with the belief shifts that our perfect prospect or perfect avatar needs to believe in order to buy into our program and buy into the back end. If you want to understand how to fill out this copy blueprint, then watch the video. So notice a few things that I did there. First and foremost, I gave it a name. I named what the actual system was called, something that can be always used. I also went one level deeper on the value because I told you what it is. I told you how we actually do it. Instead of just saying, you should not chase views as much and chase more views from your ideal client. Not to mention the hypothetical I gave was a lot more simple. Like the example, we all know the first 3 seconds of a video is make or break to sustain your attention. And so it becomes easier to fall into the trap of exploiting viral clips. However, will only assist you in increasing your click-through rate rather than making sales. You can get 1 trillion views on a video, but there is no linear pattern to your content. Who will resonate with you? Who will trust you enough to buy from you? It's a little bit stale, long, feels like an encyclopedia. So those are the main things. I think that was a good review though. W's. And she left the link at the top. God bless you. God bless you, man. Semitic master coach, codependency, perfectionism, people pleasing. Okay, I see. Women who lean towards codependency, perfectionism, and people pleasing, emotionally regulated, and live unconsciously. Just 2% get results. Is that too much? Give less, get more. 2% is all you need. You're finally signed up for my email list. You should keep an eye out for tips on all things codependency, perfectionism, and people pleasing. The link to the podcast is here as promised. I'm so proud of you for being here, and make sure you get what you deserve. Make sure to add me as a contact. That way we can stay connected. A little tip for the day. Practice giving yourself 2% permission. Radical self-care can feel overwhelming. Give yourself 2% more permission to act in ways that prioritize you, such as speaking up in a small way, or say, no, I'm not available when asked to do a small favor. Good one here is to consider the rule of threes. So usually when people are giving kind of like mini lists, they list off 3 things instead of 2 or 4. That is kind of the average. This allows your nervous system to begin to trust your discernment and feel safe. You got this. So glad. Okay, sweet. So it's a utility email, so it definitely does the job. You're finally signed up. You should keep an eye out. Yes, I would also highlight the transformation here. Highlight transformation. If you want to go from somebody who is codependent, perfectionist, people-pleasing, to someone who, whatever the next thing is, then you're in the right place. It's kind of like, imagine if I made a list, or it was for weight loss, and I was like, keep an eye out for everything for overweight people. You kind of be like, well, I don't know. I don't want to read about overweightness. I want to read about how to go from overweight to skinny. I think skinny is probably like the words that we use. I don't know though. So you get the point. The link to the podcast is here as promised. I'm so proud of you. Make sure to add me as a contact. Mark's important. That way we can stay connected. Sweet. Little tip for the day. Sweet. I messed with that. Cool. I like it. W's. Well done. I'll leave it at that. And of course, I'll see you guys on the next one.